It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, 1D, 2 E's, Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website, rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. And make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them that BSJ sent you. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so. And we will throw it up on the screen. And y'all know what's coming next. If you're one of them folks that wants to leave an indignant or ignorant comment in nature, it won't be seen on this screen. Matter of fact, here's what you'll get.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
While we bring my man, Brother Rich, back in, who just landed from doing the second rendition of Training Day of Denzel.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
With that being
What's good,
said,
man? How's the life in Dallas, man? I flew through there a couple of weeks ago. I thought I would stop in and see you, but I didn't have time.
Can I do the intros first? You didn't even give me a chance to do the intro. You're getting better at that, though. Anyway, with that being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from the NYC, a.k.a. Rucker Park. Brother Rich. Now, I say NYC, New York City, Rucker Park, but y'all see palm trees. Y'all do the math. Anyway, Brother Rich, what's happening?
Code. It's all good, man. How you feel, man? How Dallas?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not from there. Anyway, and on the other side of the pond, we got my man from up north, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say. Sure it's not Ivy. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Brownie the Elf will be featured at midfield. I may be featured in the end zone this Sunday.
That's exactly the reason why I will not go down there. You can have all your corporate pomp and circumstance and all that any other adjective you want to use, but I'm not buying into that garbage, man.
So look, they I had a decision to make.
We listen. Don't start this off. We're talking to Major League Baseball. We're talking to playoffs, okay? The postseason push, race for the pennant. But if you want to go ahead and talk brownies, elves.
Well, you know what? Otherwise, the only time we'd hear about them is when they had an L next to the win-loss column.
But we were talking about the team. I would talk about the team with an L, but I want to talk about the elves. Listen, we don't have time for Keebler.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm with you on that, Barbershop. I don't get the elves thing. What is the elves? What does that have to do with the Browns? I just don't get that. I'm sorry. I'm
Brother
a little
Rich,
lost on that one.
Brother Rich, believe me when I tell you, I was just in the shop.
Was it a fan competition or something that somebody drew that and suggest? I'm really not. I'm not playing. I'm really not getting that. What's the connection?
Brother Rich, believe me when I tell you, I was just in the shop yesterday, and we was all in there talking about it. And listen, we talking about guys like Dre. You know what I'm saying? Dre older than me. You get what I'm trying to say? My grandfather was taking him to Browns games before he was taking me to Browns games. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And he said to say, brother, hit to your exact. He's like, dude. He said, I remember as a kid, seeing it every now and again. He said, but what do it have to do with the Browns? Nothing.
Yes, it does.
Nothing at all.
What does it have to do with the Browns, Brother Jay? What's your understanding of? Where are you getting that from?
So right away, this goes back to English folklore of the.
Oh, well, that explains it.
Well, you got to remember that the team is as old as dirt, right? Unless you want to say that they've only been established since 2000. You tell me.
1946. Once again, the operative term or word in what you just said is folklore.
Well, okay. Well, now wait a minute here. You're going to upset a crowd.
I could care less.
There's a small percentage
listen.
of people that will tell you pixies and elves exist.
Yeah,
So
I know
before
exactly.
you-
And,
I don't
and
know
I'm
if you
saying,
want to alienate an audience yet.
yeah, and them same people, I guarantee you, are on some type of
Uh-oh.
psychotropics too.
Remember, the shop report 365 at gmail.com for all
Yeah,
your hate mail.
email me. Email me. I'm a realist. Okay, I deal in reality. Listen, I tell people all the time, and I learned this from journalism at Ohio University, Journalism 101 actually, and they teach it at every journalism program in the country, whatever school your journalism program is offered at. Do not substitute real reality with television reality.
No.
TELLA vision reality. Man, miss me with the garbage, man. A brownie elf, and then they got the nerve to make his face look like he's fierce. What is he doing? He's stealing cookies?
Now think. Okay, so yes, he looks like one of the seven dwarfs, but this is where their stepbrother or something. And
Oh,
so
man, please.
the reality of it is he came. This is
there
where
is no reality.
Yes, they came from folklore that if you left, they could be good or bad. Okay, that if you left sweets out as an example, they would help you with household chores. Now, if you didn't leave anything out, then of course now they were, like most people, hangry and
it's no different than the tooth fairy. Okay.
Well, now wait a minute.
Double J, you still ain't saying what that has to do with the Browns. What if you can help me?
Exactly.
Okay. If the team was called the Cleveland Tooth Fairies or something, I could see that. But where is this coming from? This is the Cleveland Browns. This is a working class city, Midwestern values. Where are we getting the elves
here? Okay,
from? Help me with that.
In the 1940s, Arthur McBride, the original owner of the team. Remember, when you think of Super Bowl I, and even your traditional, what I would have said like AFC championships, historically, then what did you have? It wasn't until the game that took place at the Coliseum that you had the jetpack guy, and you had marching bands. So I'm saying this because this explains the next 30 years of how the approach would be from the NFL. So Arthur McBride wanted to make his team more marketable and recognizable as it pertained to those things. And so that's where, again, his name was really Cox the Elf. He existed in concept before this. And so that was where the creation of the logo, made its first appearance in the tickets of 1946.
Okay, that's fine. But what literally does an elf have to do with football?
Well,
and in particular, the Cleveland Browns.
Correct. And so then that also brings up the next crisis that the team had, which was, of course, as you pointed out, it's named after Paul Brown. But you can't bring color into the equation as it pertains.
But you can bring up a fictitious elf.
Well, here's the thing: the Cleveland fans loved the creature.
Oh, of course. I'm not surprised.
But I'm sure you would agree, no different than 1946 Detroit. 1946 Cleveland is vastly different than it pertains to present day.
No, it's not. It's
not.
Okay. Some of them same in regards to the celebration of an elf.
So
history is repeating itself in this case, unfortunately.
That's right. And here's why: because Art Modell himself got rid of the elf in 1961. He was embarrassed by it.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
Well, now Art Modell also moved the team to Baltimore and changed the elf for a bird.
Listen. Okay, but listen. Hold on. First of all, let me say this for all of them folks out there, and Brother Rich, we're gonna let you weigh in. I know you're getting tired. You just landed from the movie set and whatnot. I get you, Brother Rich.
First class, you get
but
really
let me say this right quick.
Here
we go with the manifest. People are so caught up in all of these fantasies nowadays. Okay, and what the idealism of and what it's symbolic of. If you really get to the roots of it all, it doesn't stand for jack squat. Okay, Art Modell moved the team, and they put out that documentary, Believe Land. Listen, listen what I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. I talked to people. Go look up Nance was one of the attorneys involved in that whole deal, Brother Rich. You know who I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mike White was the mayor. I'm so sick and tired of people who don't know who only know from the media's perspective about that whole ordeal, I have actually talked to people. There are books being written that have been written about the Browns and why Art Modell had to sell the team. There was a reason why he had to sell the team. But of course, the media and the people who like to spin, the spinsters or whatever you want to call them.
No way.
No, listen. I'm trying to tell you, man. Believe me when I'm trying to tell you. There's a lot to that story that people do. I guarantee you when you go watch
him.
I am defending him. I'm defending him because I know more to it than what most people think they know. I promise you, I've talked to players who played back then. I guarantee you one thing that most people who look at that story, even Clevelanders who don't know, and yes, I'm getting animated because I'm so sick and tired of people taking part of a story and making it an entire story as if though that's the story. So I'm telling you right now, nobody knows the fact that part of the reason why Art Modell the reason why he moved the team, he wanted renovations to the stadium.
Correct.
The powers to be
in the Believeland podcast.
I know it. I know. But the part that wasn't in there is the condition of the showers. Did you ever hear the condition of the showers that the players used to complain about?
But you're telling me the city needs to pay for that?
No. What I'm saying to you is go look up.
Okay.
No. Yeah, listen, the city didn't pay for everything else. When Gund Arena and all that stuff was prior to being built down there, when they were thinking about Gund Arena and building Jacobs Field, Modell said, how are you going to give the Indians and the Cavs new digs when this is a Browns town? He asked for renovation money and Mike White told him no. So Art Modell said, okay, no, he asked for something new. He said, if you're going to give the Indians and Cavs something new, then you should give the Browns something new, because at that time, Municipal Stadium was the only stadium in the NFL that seated 80,000 people or more. It was the only stadium in the NFL could sit that many people for a football game. So Mike White and the powers that be told him, no, we ain't giving you nothing new. You're just going to have to deal with it. So he said, okay, can we at least give me renovations? Anybody that went to that stadium back in that time will tell you the stadium was a dump. But because we're so sentimental and symbolic, we loved the dump. You get what I'm saying? Because there were so many historic moments, Browns moments in history that happened in that stadium. I get it. But the stadium needed complete repair. It needed to be torn down is what it needed. That's why it's a reef right now. You see where First Energy is sitting at? That's why it's a reef right now. So they said no to that. And Modell said, okay, if you're not going to give me nothing new or you're not going to even help me renovate, I'm going to move the team. And Mike White told him, well, you do. Yeah, right. And you had the fans all over you behind that. And essentially that's what happened. But it was a business move. I talked to players that played in 91, 92, 93, and 94. I promise you, there are things that them players will tell you that was not in that documentary. They said they wished that they took dynamite to that stadium. Them players who played in the 90s, Antonio Langham and all them guys, and Anthony Griggs and all them guys. They was like, man, we used to go after practices or whatever, games there, whatever, we would run to the showers. If you didn't get to the showers first, you had to wait till you got home to take a shower because the water would come up past our ankles. The sewage and the drainage system was so terrible in there. Man, come on, man. Art Modell didn't do nothing no worse than what Indianapolis and the Colts did and Marsha Broda and them did. And what they did was even worse. They didn't even tell their fans. They moved the team in the middle of the night.
That the locker room, or at least a portion of it, still exists in Baltimore where the Colts were. It's in a part of a museum now. So
yeah, well, it's not municipal. The dump. That's really what it was. The dump. Man, we could go to the dump.
Remember, I'm waiting on confirmation as to what date next week that I'm going to be a part of a focus group on the renovations to First Energy.
They need to put a dome on it. Period.
Facts.
Now, but look what's happening in Chicago right now, where every comment section says no dome, no dome.
Okay,
they call it the mistake by the lake.
What they calling the mistake by the lake?
Soldier Field.
No, they didn't sold the name, right? Because that's what they used to call Cleveland, the mistake by the lake. Go look it up. Yeah, we used to have that name for a long time. The Cuyahoga River when it caught on fire. Come on, man. I was born here. I was born here, man.
Look, I'm not disagreeing. I'm telling you, when Mr. Lerner bought the team, that's when the Elf resurrected. And here's the thing. How are you going to tell me that Paul Brown himself, who co-signed in 1953, wanting Brownie the Elf on the helmet and the uniforms, Which remember, it's been when I think it was the 60th anniversary team had it at the training camp, a patch on the kit then.
Okay, that's cute and all. It is. That's cute. But an elf, to Brother Richard's original question, what does that have to do with the Cleveland Browns as a football team?
But
I can see every other team.
Now you're talking about history. At this point, it's a historical. It's a throwback. Essentially, at this point, it is a throwback.
Yeah, and
no
that's
different
exactly what
than
needs to happen.
The Pistons embracing, the Fort Wayne days.
Okay, and they need to throw it back. If you want to, that's what they need to do. If you want to represent the history, not all history. Yeah, listen, not all history needs to be. We don't need to be reminded of all history. Okay. Need I say more? Yeah, exactly. We don't need to be reminded of all history. And that's definitely one of them, an elf. Man, come on, man. There's nothing you could say to convince me. Now, I could understand when Hanford Dixon and Minifield came up with the dog with Roof, the dog pound. I could see, put a dog on every team in the NFL.
Facts.
Whatever
that's
their
what I would
monitor
have thought
is.
They would have done.
Thank you.
Yes.
It represents who they are as a team.
Yes, but again, this still plays on that because remember, how do you represent a team that's named after a person and a color? Well, a brownie. And again, that's what I gave you the name of the actual elf itself at the time being Cox the elf, but they were called brownies. So again, there's your answer. It may not have anything to do necessarily with at the time with the city of Cleveland, but it had everything to do with the team name.
Okay, here's what I'm saying to you. If I'm a current Browns fan who does not know their Browns history and I go to look back at Browns history, I'd rather trace it back to Paul Brown, because when I trace it back to Paul Brown, I see he was an innovator of the face mask, the first radio in the helmet, things of that nature. Okay, that's something I could be proud of.
And he wanted Brownie the elf on the helmet.
Yeah, okay, got you.
Yeah,
okay, got
put that in there as an asterisk.
Okay. All right, got you. Yeah, no, and I emphasize the asterisk part. Yeah, got you. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on because it's nothing you talk to them people down there, who sing Kumbaya and hold hands and all that kind of stuff and put their hands in each other's back pockets and all of that. Maybe they'll buy it, but I'm not buying that at all. I'm not. Anywho,
I'm gonna make sure I come back.
Our first item on the menu is Major League Baseball's race for the pin elf on the shelf, man, because they will steal trinkets from you if you were good and bad. Man, Santa Claus ain't real. Hey, ask the people at Walmart who come and buy Christmas presents every year. Your mom and your dad, okay? Man, stop it, man. Anyway, that's what's wrong with this country. You know what I'm saying? Too many fables. The thing is built on fantasy and not reality. Okay, you see what's really going on in this country? Ain't got nothing to do with Santa Claus. I'm here to tell you right now. Hold on, we got a comment coming in. Abdul Smith, one of our.
Oh, stop it!
The elf is a joke. I was at the game in Charlotte, and the people were yelling, "Here we go, Brownies! Here we go!" But they weren't saying "woo foo." That's a dog, I believe. Thank you. If you're gonna. He got another one. A dog is more intimidating than an elf. Brother Rich, we'd be glad to get you back. Come on back with us. Yeah, come on back with us. Yeah, because at the end of the day.
I agree. You're not
a dog is more intimidating than an elf.
There.
Yeah, okay. Well, then go right ahead. Have fun. You won't catch me down there.
I just
you won't catch me celebrating no elf.
You asked where the history and where the tie-in comes with it.
I knew that already.
There's a lot of Madden fans out there that would have loved for an alternate uniform. With Brownie the elf,
that's fine.
Front and center.
That's fine. Well, let them be happy with whatever it is that they would have been happy about. Because I don't play games. I don't. Life is too short. Matter of fact, I just recently found out that four of my coworkers just passed within the last week. Life is too serious to be playing games. You enjoy it while you're here and all that good stuff, but tomorrow's never promised. You know what I mean? And at this stage and age of my life, I'm not playing games. Okay, so to all the Madden folks out there, whoop-de-doo to you and celebrate and put an elf or whatever it is you want to put on there, but not here. It ain't got nothing to do. You see what I'm saying? Elf is tied into evil entities. Just saying. Yeah, you ain't. That's what.
The whole concept of it is.
That's the point I'm trying to make here. You know what I mean? They should have put a dog. They should have put a dog on the field or a dog on the helmet. An elf. An elf ain't got nothing because somebody was feeling, was drinking that night and decided, oh, that'd be a great idea in 1940, whatever the case may be. Yeah, absolutely not. Brother Rich, when you get a chance, come on back, man. We know you just hopped off the plane and all that. But anyway, our first item on the menu is the Major League Baseball's race for the pennant. If the playoffs started today, the Dodgers and Mets, Brother Rich, I hope you come on back here because I know you're going to want to hear this. The Dodgers and Mets will get the first round buys. The Cardinals, 3 seed versus the Padres, the 6 seed. The Braves will be a 4 seed versus the Phillies, a 5 seed. Of the seeds, the 3, 6, 4, and 5, Cardinals and Padres, who do you see, Double J, until we get Brother Rich back? Who do you see coming out of that series? Should it all shake out in the end as it stands today?
As it stands, right. Who was the 4-5 one more time?
The Braves and the Phillies.
Oof.
And matter of fact, if I'm reading this, well, let me add this in too. If I'm not mistaken, the Braves and the Mets are still in battle in the National League East. I mean, in the in the race for the division. So could end up the Mets ended up the 4 seed, I believe, and if the Braves win the division, so things could change. But go ahead, who you think if things were to stand pat, Braves and Phillies, who you got?
What I do love about this, first and foremost, is that was the only difference between, Burl Rich and myself as far as final picks. But with where the records are at. But let's see. My goodness. Just out of those two teams, or the two groups you mentioned,
just those two teams.
I'm going to go Atlanta. I'm going to stick with the World Series champion, advancing unless Tatis Jr. 60-game suspension were to end somewhere in between. That would be the only caveat to me potentially kind of flipping there, because San Diego, of course, has hung in there, but they're not the same team naturally without someone of that caliber. That's too big of a bat. So I'm going to stick with Atlanta.
Brother Rich, who you got? Braves? Well, let me go again while we got you back here. Obviously, Brother Rich's Dodgers.
Facts.
Unfortunately. Brother Rich's
Why
Dodgers,
unfortunately? Do you know that the Dodgers are the first team to clinch the playoff spot? Do you know that the Dodgers literally ran away with Major League Baseball this year? But keep going. Keep going. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I used to like the Dodgers. I'm a Lasorda Dodger.
Okay. Well, same thing. That's the same franchise.
Okay, Kirk Gibson.
Same franchise. They all affiliated.
I know it's but they're not the same team. You know what I'm saying? Them Dodgers was worth watching back then. You know what I mean? They got
terrible.
it out. These Dodgers are entitled. Okay, I do like Dave Roberts though. I will. Yeah, they are.
Mookie Betts is entitled. Mookie Betts.
I like Mookie Betts. I do. I like Mookie.
But this is the Dodgers. Yeah. Mookie Betts is the Dodgers.
It's Christina Kershaw. It's Christina Kershaw.
No, the Dodgers are no longer Kershaw. No, that's very unfair. We're no longer Kershaw. We are now Mookie Betts Dodgers. This is Mookie Betts Dodgers.
Wow.
Okay.
This is Mookie Betts Dodgers.
All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know you're still hoping for a Yankees Dodgers World Series, but
Absolutely,
it ain't gonna happen.
Sir.
Ain't gonna happen because the Yankees' Achilles heel is obviously the Rays. But anyway,
is.
Dodgers and Mets would get first round buys. Obviously, unfortunately,
obviously,
you didn't think the Mets was gonna be in it either.
No, I didn't.
I did. That was our only difference was who was going. I said a Subway Series.
Yeah. Yeah, you did say that, Double J. Let me give you some elf cookies. The Cardinals with the 3 seed versus the Padres, the 6 seed. The Braves will be a 4 seed versus the Phillies, the 5 seed. So right now we're looking at the Braves versus Phillies. Who would you take in that series?
The Braves.
Should things shake out the way they are? Would you take the Braves?
I'll take the Braves.
Yeah. I don't know. Right. I guess I would say to the Phillies, kudos to them for scratching and clawing, even get back in the postseason discussion. But Ryan Howard is not walking through that door. I'm here to tell you right now.
And the Padres aren't doing anything either. So let's make sure.
Unless it was like some kind of Subway promotion.
And I'm kind of with you too. I think it's going to be when it's all said and done. I think the Cardinals and the Braves come out. They end up playing the Mets and the Dodgers in the for the whole kit and caboodle. In the National League Championship Series, I think it's going to be the Dodgers and the Braves. But the Cardinals are just as storied when it comes to winning.
Yeah.
Not as many, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Brother Rich, I thought. Yeah, gave Double J some elf cookies. Yeah. Yeah. Double Keebler is what we calling him today. Yeah. Anyway, Brother Rich, I thought you was a baseball fan, man. I thought you were gonna give credit to baseball. Okay, so why you poo-pooing on the Cardinals?
That, but we'll talk. What you see, you talking about ancient history, like you always talking about your grandpappy's Browns. We're talking about modern day. Right now, the Dodgers are winning baseball. Let's stay with modern history.
They're so disrespectful. But the Cardinals are second to the Yankees in coming right. You know, when it come time to get it done in the postseason, you can't count them out, whether they got Pujols or not. Got another comment coming in. He said the Guardians are sneaky good, thanks to Tito. Yeah, you know. Speaking of Tito, right quick, you know, I've seen a report or story here a couple of days ago. He said he kind of getting tired, man, based on his health or whatever. He's getting tired of managing. So I don't know who else they will replace, because I like him as a manager. I do, for this Guardian squad. But I'm kind of surprised that the Guardians are hanging on this long. You know what I mean? I thought the Twins, they've been their nemesis, the Guardians and Indians, whatever you want to call them now. We won't call them Keebler, I'll tell you that. But they've been the Guardians' nemesis for quite some time. And here it is, the White Sox. Shout out to my cat Tilo up there at the parlay, him and Kendall Gill. Oh. In Chi-Town. Oh, I always got to get him a shout out, man.
No. I'm talking about the White Sox.
Yeah, well, I mean, but the White Sox are in the thick of it. But yeah, I kind of see the Dodgers and the Braves in the NLCS. Yeah, because the Dodgers are tough to beat. Brother Rich, we'll take you out of here until you I don't know why you buffering right there, but okay. Yep. All right, when you get back with us, go ahead and give us a shot. Yeah, I got the Dodgers and the Braves. But I wouldn't be surprised if somehow or another. Oh, we got him back again. It's all good, brother.
Yeah, pardon me, fellas. It's been, I can't keep a consistent signal where I am in this garage.
It's all good. You got a driver this week? You're driving yourself. That's what I'm saying.
That's terrible.
You know what I'm saying?
That is
you know
terrible,
what I mean?
man.
I'm just saying. I'm looking at the position that you're in the car. It look like
that
in
is
the back
terrible,
seat or the front seat.
Terrible.
Okay,
That's
but
terrible.
you got the sunroof open. Okay, I got you.
I was gonna say, I didn't know if we were gonna have the ceiling with the stars.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I mean? Speaking of stars, my man, shout out to Bro Rich. You know what I mean? Brother Rich, when is the movie dropping? You know what I'm saying?
Brother, stop it.
They say you
early
put
next year.
Okay, it's all good. I mean, we just keep us abreast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let us know what's happening. You know, keep us up to date on what's going down.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
word on the street is, I mean, you connected, but my reach is long too. I got a couple phone calls. They say, man, your boy be rich out here, man.
Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah. Now see, this guy's cracking funny today. Mr. Elf here, Mr. Keebler. Yeah, but I got a couple phone calls. They say, man, your boy we reach out here. They say Denzel was over in the corner crying. I said, oh my God. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Listeners, don't listen to this man. Don't listen to him. He's been hanging out in Miami with his Hurricane fans.
Absolutely.
Too much.
Absolutely. That's right. But I wasn't sniffing. I'm just letting you know. That's how dogs do.
No,
you know what I'm saying? That's what should have been on the side of the helmet. Yeah, and we move on over to the American League. Brother Rich's, the Astros and Brother Rich's Yankees, of course, will get the byes, obviously. Then we got at the 3 seed, the Guardians versus the Blue Jays at the 6 seed. The Rays at the 4. What? That's funny to you? Oh, wow. That's so disrespectful. Yeah, where's Tommy Lasorda when you need him? Yeah, and then the Rays at the 4 seed versus the Mariners, the 5 seed. I'm surprised that the Mariners were able to get in it, get into the to the postseason. Yeah, we got a comment here. Yeah, Double J clowning today. Yeah, he really is. Yeah, Mr. Keebler, Scott Foster Keebler. He got about 1,000 names on this P-roll. Yeah, just keep them coming, Brother Rich. Who you got? Rays versus Mariners. Who you picking there? Obviously, you're not picking the Rays. I know. Yeah, of course not.
Mariners.
Because if them Rays see
we
them
need
Yankees,
that upset, baby. We need that upset.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
right. We need that upset.
Yeah.
Get them
Double
out the way early.
Oh, excuse me. Double J, who you got? Rays and Mariners. Should things stay the way they are?
I'm going with Tampa. St. Pete. The Rays.
Oh. Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm going with the Rays too. Somebody got to knock them Yankees off. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing them Yankees. And I want to see Aaron Judge in a Mets uniform.
Yeah,
more
because that's
apropos.
why you want that, because you hating on Aaron Judge and you
I'm
don't
not
want
hating
that.
on. I'm just telling you what I want
Yeah,
to see.
you are.
I'd hate to not see him in the Mets uniform is what I'd hate. We got another comment rolling in. My man Abdul say he picking the Mariners. Yeah, nobody wants the Rays, huh? Okay, I can understand why. Yeah, it's the Mariners. You know what? We're gonna
look. Both are wonderful for what they've done, and without seeing the standings in front of me, I would love to see them meet in the ALCS, or potentially. I think it's almost unfair to have them in a wild card matchup against one another, just especially with as underwhelming as the Jays and Guardians are. I think.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I'm not a fan, but the Astros seem to have gotten past that whole Spygate thing or whatever you want to call it.
Well, without Verlander, the kid who just they're in town right now. I sold my tickets, of course. I've had enough. And so
yeah,
I need a break.
Yeah, apparently so have the Tigers.
Yeah, you're right. At some point, you gotta euthanize.
Yeah. Hey, hold that thought.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, watching the Tigers is like watching TJ in that T-shirt. Very uncomfortable.
Oh yes, it really is. Hey, it's incongruent. That's the word we use here. It's incongruent. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Hold that thought, Double J. We're gonna take a 40-second commercial break. Don't y'all put it down. I told y'all. I ain't gonna tell you again. Don't touch it.
It's Kate Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report.
It's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Touch that dial. Stay tuned.
Max and Key, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Mars Man. We're at Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Yep, technical dignitaries on my technical dignitaries rather on my end. Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, we're back. Go ahead, Double J. What were you saying?
Ultimately, the AL Central. It was interesting. So opening day, I'm staring at a predictions over under type of thing, and what I thought was astounding was it was like somebody was asleep at the wheel when they put it together, because they had the entire AL Central pretty much at 75 wins. And I thought there's just no way, between what the White Sox should be doing, what the Twins should be doing, and even the Guardians to an extent, that, with injuries and something along, that'll take place throughout the course of way too many game season, that one way or the other would be lopsided. We don't have that. I fully expect this list to change in a week because of where the AL Central is.
Because they're
not only that, with the NL, you may have that stuff in front of you right now, where the the AL East is also very comparable between. You have the Yankees, but between where the Jays and Rays are, should also be pretty close, if I'm not mistaken. Also. And Boston
maybe
had
like 3.5 games or something like that separates them.
Yeah. So again, I honestly, I don't know what happened to Minnesota. I know they had one guy get injured, and I want to say that was like right before the All-Star break. And they've always felt like almost like Tampa in a way, where it was like there wasn't any real star power there. It was just a good collective unit. And then all of a sudden they completely fell off a cliff. Unless they were playing us, of course, and then it was 100-0, and it looked like.
Well, you can say that about everybody that played the Tigers this year,
except for the Royals. We have the Royals number. That is the one team, but they still have the better record. So hopefully that leads to maybe we let the AI draft for us, and we'll get somebody relevant.
I find it somewhat surprising that the Red Sox are not in the talk this year. Do you, Brother Rich?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not that. That's a team that they every couple of years they just decide to load up and go for it. and they'll have their run, and then they give up for a little while, and they let things damp down for a little while, and come back again. So no, I'm not surprised at all. Not at all.
Are
They're
Yankees
still enjoying.
Go
they
ahead.
don't have they're not the Yankees. Don't compare the two teams.
No,
one is in Boston, and the other one is in is in the real city.
Oh wow! That's such a low blow, like the Grandpappy's Browns. But I was getting ready to say I'm not comparing them. So you didn't let me finish. I was gonna say, are Yankees fans still somewhat bothered by that 3-0, where the 4-3 comeback? David Ortiz. Should I mention? Y'all don't like the name David Ortiz in New York, do you?
Well, I'm gonna say this to you: Yankees fans are not bothered by anything that goes on in Boston. Anything.
Oh wow. Okay, well that puts a bow on that. It's sort of like a Keebler. Anywho, yeah, Guardians and Blue Jays, Brother Rich. Who would you take there?
They're separated by a game, Barbershop. Tampa and Toronto.
Oh, I thought.
Okay.
That's right,
hey,
Toronto.
even the O's are only 5 games out. So I know we're down to the stretch here, but even Boston's at 69 wins, and for context, I mean that's a little too far now, I think, with where we're at. But and then between the White Sox, it's 3 games with the Guardians and 6 games with the Twins. So it's not impossible. It's just becoming more and more improbable.
Yeah, but it's still about 20 games left to go in the season.
That's what I'm saying. So
the
you have a bad
week. The Guardians' magic number is what, 49? Yeah.
But hang on a second. You said baseball was dead in June in that city.
It is dead.
Oh, stop it.
It is dead. Brother Rich, we'll wait till you get back. It is dead. Man, don't start that. Nobody watches. I mean, I do, because I grew up all playing and watching all sports. But the average fan, man, go look at what stadiums look like around the country. I'm talking about for teams that were winning. Even the
as
Yankees.
Far as capacity?
I'm just saying nobody.
Hey, look, I've been very fortunate. I'm being fully transparent that if I didn't have the seat location that I have, I would have probably had to have eaten a lot of the games since the All-Star break. And I have 2 games left. So for our viewing audience, if anybody's interested, well below face value, have a date night on Double J. And so but I looked at your guys because I was watching.
You're not going to be able to get rid of those tickets. But what happened? You were watching what?
Well, hey, that might be the difference of me coming on Sunday. I keep telling you that. I need one more Tiger game to sell.
Nobody watches baseball in June or July unless it's the All-Star break or the what's the name Classic. That's the only time ratings for baseball, Major League Baseball, is up. It's not enough purists anymore, or I don't know, aficionados, whatever you want to call us, so to speak. Nobody's listen with the attention span of folks nowadays. Nobody's watching baseball.
You've seen the rules that are changed, right?
No more
shifts.
No more shifts. Yeah,
an official pitch count now, which I will tell you this because I've of course only been to 4 games this season, but I did find myself staring obviously off into the abyss, rather frequently because of the product on the field, and so I found that we were already using a pitch clock. It was already being utilized, I guess, as a trial run. That I thought it was already implemented, but now it's official. So what I have caught on to, because this questions how much, look, like you said, the casual fan and the attention span. Maybe I'm old school. I want events that are long. I don't like the fact that I'm whooshed in and whooshed out, with like a spin cycle.
Yeah, because it's the experience.
Right.
But you got to look at the sport though. You're not going to get that with baseball. They can make whatever change they want to make, and it might speed the game up a fraction. But baseball is just such the nature of the sport. There's no way. It's not like football or basketball or volleyball even or tennis.
Why? Because here's what I struggle with this complex that I feel both NASCAR and baseball have, which is they focus so much on history, and it's not appealing or attractive to a younger audience. And because you get this line in the sand or some kind of Mendoza line that says, if you weren't born before this date, your opinion and your viewing point. And we do this. I would say we're guilty of this on the show as it pertains to with how we view the Today BA versus yesteryear. But these sports as a whole have a complex. It's not just us debating about what we
call
think.
it Today BA. The Today BA. There's just cause, and I'll tell you again why I call it the Today BA. Once again, people get caught up in the pageantry of what's going on, the dunks and the three-point shots. Here's what I'm going to say to the viewers out there and why, once again, I call it the Today BA, and I will continue to call it that, regardless of what anybody says. You want to come on, want to challenge me, by all means, come on the P-Program, and you can please do so, and I will chop you up like I did the Keebler elf and his cookies. I'm going to say two things. One, when it comes to the Today BA, I challenge anybody, regardless of which two teams are playing, put the mute button on and watch the game in its entirety. And I guarantee you the perspective will be entirely different than it would be with the sound on. Two, take a towel, put it over your TV and drape it across the front of your TV while a game is going on, right to the point where you can see just the feet and ankles of the players playing. And you'll see the footwork is terrible, no matter which two teams are playing. Now do those two things and then come have a conversation with me. So yeah, I'm justified, and we are, whoever it is that's in agreement with me in saying why the Today BA is what the Today BA is. If you can get past all the pomp and circumstance, you'll see that it don't stand a chance. Exactly, it does not. But as far as baseball,
well, wait a minute. Why does it? So you're saying it doesn't stand a chance either, but for a vastly different reason.
Well, listen, but we're talking about the tempo and the speed of basketball and football is going to always have the viewership and keep folks in the seats and keep folks tuned in more so than it is baseball. Listen, no matter what baseball tries to do to speed the game up, they can make all the changes that they've made, and it may speed the game up a fraction because you get a batter, baseball players, and most guys who play most sports, for the most part, they have a rhythm thing. They are creatures of habit, I guess, or things of that nature. So you take any batter, when he gets up to the batter's box or whatever, he takes a swing and he misses. So he has to step out of the box. He has to play with his gloves. He looks at his bat and smacks it a couple times, smacks the top of his helmet. That stuff takes time. Then after 35 minutes of doing that, then he gets back into the batter box. That's just strike one. I don't care. You could be on a pitch count or pitch clock or whatever the case may be. Then the pitcher himself, he has to go kick the mound a few times, scratch the dirt, to get the stuff out of his cleats or whatever it is. Then he gets, after he, gets the pitch and the ball in the glove, then he bends down then he got to get the signal, whichever pitch he wants to throw from the catcher and all of that. And then he goes through all of that, and then he throws over to first base.
But again,
then he gets the ball back. Then he throws over to first base
now. And that I'm telling you, they start that clock. I would argue they start the clock faster than the NFL does with, after the play has been blown dead.
Well, guess what? By the time the players get used to that, it's going to be another 5 years down the line.
I'm telling you now, I disagree. I think it's already made its impact. I've noticed that we're out of there now within 2.5 hours. Now, is that partially due to bad baseball? Could someone in San Diego's case, prior to the All-Star break with Tatis and basically their full lineup saying, well, we scored 10 runs a game, so we're not out of there till 3.5 hours. Could that be the case? Yes. But remember, we're also in a pitcher-dominated space right now where the hitters are complaining. So yeah, this is where I just feel like the complex they have with look, we both love the Field of Dreams thing. NASCAR's doing their version of Dale Jr. I've watched this download podcast for years. He's been screaming North Wilkesboro. They conveniently get a grant from the state of North Carolina, and for $18 million, that certainly helps. And now the All-Star race is going to be there. So my point is, if you're leaning so much on history, at some point something has to give because you start not appreciating the present. And the present in baseball includes 2 over 500 home run hitters, 1 Triple Crown winner, a couple Triple Crown winning pitchers, that the future or present is just as good, if not equal to or greater than the past. I would say equal to. And look, football is no different. It points to history all the time. Maybe not in the man. I mean, I would say that's always being compared to yesteryear, especially when you look at the quarterback position and how it's evolved.
You can't get away from it, though. How can you get away from it?
But this is why I think
you have to know where you came from in order to know which way you're going forward.
Well, and I'm not saying completely disassociate from it, but when that's the lure, when that's your main draw of being of looking at things in a historical context, at some point look, how many people love history? Not many. And it's a shame.
Okay, but if that's what they're doing to bring people, to draw people in, if they're going back to draw people of today in, then that tells you that today's whatever it is lacks the substance of yesterday.
Well, has all the style. That's a good point.
It has all the style, but it lacks the substance. So once again, I'll go back to a quote that we had last week.
Mm-hmm.
Financial prosperity versus like spiritual prosperity. In other words, if you have all of the wow, the glitz and the glamour, in the end, what does it all mean?
Nothing. Can't take it with you.
It's hollow. It doesn't mean anything. In other words, and then again, with the attention spans of people nowadays, man, come on, man. You have to have something substantive you can draw people in with that, but to keep them in, you got to do more than just bells and whistles.
And this is why I believe if I'm in Major League Soccer, which already has a big issue with scouting and actually really a number of them, that greed has gotten maybe their worst enemy. They can actually crack the top four because of exactly what you pointed to, which is game day experience, which can we were watching the Champions League this afternoon. There was a stand, Jay. It looked like something out of like I've only seen it on maybe SpongeBob, where it looks like there's a million fish jumping all at once, and it was a million people in one section of the stands. I literally thought the thing was going to collapse. It was going to test, every bit of the foundation of that structure. I've seen clips
of things that happening at World Cup games or whatnot, like when Italy plays Brazil or something or another.
We have the World Cup coming here to North America as a whole in 4 years. We also have had a growing
that has to
product.
Be a first.
I read an article this morning. I have a down.
That hasn't happened before.
The U.S. had it in '94.
Okay, well, look how long ago.
But look what happened to the sport after that. And then when the 2008 team, I believe, went to the quarterfinals or so, there was a surge in interest in the sport, and MLS grew even more. The document basically points to it's the best position for brands, it's the best position for game day experience, and it's best for low attention spans because the ball is constantly in motion, unlike football, which seems to be rather slow compared to it. Football recently did something that I pointed to Megan and I said, look, where it is today is not where it'll be 30 and 40 years from now, and largely because of the concussion issue and people starting to remove their kids from the sport. They may still attend games.
But as long as there's FanDuel and DraftKings, football is going to always be in the thick of it.
I don't
because a lot of people play fantasy this and fantasy that more so than they do Madden in 2K or whatever the case may be. A lot of people, this whole fantasy deal is a big deal. You know what I mean? And as long as it's fantasy football, NFL, trust me, folks picking Patrick Mahomes and the Ecklers and the Henrys and the Chubbs and the Kareem Hunts or whatever it is, because it's big money. Some of these leagues pay out $5,000, $10,000 or whatever the case may be. And as long as it's betting and gambling and things of that nature, football is going to always have a place.
And that's where they really have a stranglehold on it, is that additional element that grew from it.
Exactly. But there's still somewhat enough action to keep even this short attention span folks attentive.
But do you think? But they nailed it with Red Zone. They really nailed it. With
exactly. Exactly. So I mean, the minds behind the NFL and the college football too. It's just, I don't know. I just think that they're gonna they're forever etched into the fabric. That's not going on. I don't think that if they lose, I don't think they'll ever lose fans unless. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever. No, I don't think they'll ever lose fans.
Where I'm concerned is another entire generation from here. Again, Aiden's 11, right? At 10 years old, I know for a fact, because I was quizzed at a restaurant randomly to name every team, location and whatever their identity was. So Detroit and Lions. At 10, I could do that. He's 11, and he told me on last Thursday, I think the Buffalo Wild Wings are going to win.
Was he being facetious?
No. And then all of a sudden I looked at it and I'm like, it kind of looks like all right. I'm like, but I'm like, Buffalo Wild Wings. And part of me, was kind of crushed, like, but you're an athlete, kid. Like, you should know.
Yeah, but
did I fail here or
no? Well, what I was gonna say, my sons are into basketball because at an early age, I introduced them to it. I introduced them to all sports, but I sat back and I observed which sport that they put to the forefront, and it was basketball. We did baseball, we did all of that. You know what I mean? Because I wanted them to have that diversity, so to speak, when it came to sports. So once I saw that basketball was the thing that they gravitated to more than the others, then I honed in on that. So we started watching games together, and I started explaining to them or whatever, you know what I mean? So they knew, because my sons right now, they probably couldn't tell you, they could probably tell you, they probably know who Patrick Mahomes is, you know what I mean, and whatnot, but they probably couldn't name the teams either and locations and whatnot. But as far as the NBA or WNBA or what's the FIBA or the overseas, they could do, and high school and all of that kind of stuff, because I recognized early that was the thing that they would be most interested in. And then once they got to a certain age, they just started, and I showed them how to study it, if you're going, and then they just started studying it. They started sending me stuff. My oldest son, he was hip to Brandon Ingram before I knew who Brandon Ingram was. Before he ever went to Duke, and he would send me little clips, and he said, Dad, check this guy out. What you think of this guy or that guy? He was going back all the way to high school or middle school, and all he was finding stuff from places I wouldn't even take the time to even know to look when it came to basketball. So it's just a matter of soccer is his thing, because that's what you probably geared him towards. You know what I mean? So him thinking Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm not surprised at that, because how much football does he really watch? Does he have an interest in football?
And that's the thing. He played flag football for a season. I was very against him. The desire was there. I think if it were up to him, I don't want to say I've held him back from anything other than football. As far as watching it on Sundays, it's plastered on the screen, but he's off doing his own thing.
Yeah, right. Like, he's not. But if it was soccer, he'd be watching it.
Even that is a struggle, and that's the thing. That's the troubling part. That was the historical issue with the sport, was that great to play, tough to watch, and so. In person, it's a vastly different thing.
Well, that's the. I mean, trust me, I've been to plenty of stadiums and arenas. Yeah, even hockey. I mean, I'm just saying. The in-person experience is a whole lot different. But I've already run the gambit. I'm too old now to be. My bladder won't allow me to be sitting for no 75-hour football game. It's supposed to be only 60 minutes. But anyway, let's finish up with our Major League Baseball. I thought we might get Brother Richard back, but that's fine. Brother Richard, if you're still out there with us, come join us when you get a chance, man. We want to talk some football. I was trying to hold out till we hopefully got him back so we could talk about his Brownies, but I don't know what happened to him. But hopefully, if he does come back, obviously you all know we'll patch him right on in. But at the end of the day, I think the Astros got something for the Yankees, and I'm gonna just throw it out here right quick. I mean, there's still a few divisions yet to be decided. Obviously the AL Central, the Guardians, and right now it's looking like the Guardians and the White Sox. And as I mentioned previous, the National League East, the Mets and the Braves are going at it. And then the American League East is the Yankees.
That's still a 3-horse race. I'm not ready to quit on Baltimore yet.
And the Orioles. I think the playoffs in general, wild card or not, would be good. Baseball just seems to be more attractive to me when the Orioles are in the mix. You know what I mean? That whole Cal Ripken thing. I have much respect for the Iron Man. You know what I mean? You want to talk about
Camden Yards as a whole is a very unique. It seems
it's
like
an
one
eclectic
of the better,
environment.
Yes,
very eclectic environment. But I think the Astros got something for the Yankees, if not the Rays. Them are the only two teams I see derailing the Yankees on the way to their 450th World Series. My God.
Well, and again, remember, there's only a 6-game difference right now between the Yankees and Rays. They just played each other not that long ago. I want to say it was earlier this week or last week. And the Rays took 3 or 4.
That's interesting. Do they play them again throughout these last 18, 20-something games?
That's why, I'm going to look here at because I have all this in front of me now. Let's go to tomorrow. Now, this is kind of my point here. Tomorrow is the White Sox and Guardians. So we were already talking about, big series that you have the Rays and Blue Jays. That's going to, does that open the door for Baltimore? And then as far as
who does Baltimore play? Like their next, give me each team's next 5 games.
Well,
the
Baltimore, the Baltimore plays the Blue Jays starting Friday.
How many is that? A 3 or 4 games or a 4-game series?
That would be 2, 3, and then Monday. So 3 games set there.
Okay.
And then Baltimore plays the Tigers at home. Now, again,
you mean at home as the Tigers are at home or Baltimore's at
home?
No,
Baltimore's at home. So now you get a lowly last place team that Cabrera's out. I think they're going to sit him for the remainder of the year. To the point they're shuttling us to Toledo. I don't know if you know that next Friday I'll be in Toledo at the Mud Hens game.
Oh,
so they're taking all. Yeah, that's how bad the product's gotten. That they're saying, hey, everybody, we got a really good minor league team not far from here. Wow. We'll put you all on a bus with a driver and get you down there, give you a first class view of the water.
Yeah, paging Jack Morris. Jack,
he's in the booth. He's in the booth.
Yeah, he need to come out here and wind up. But I see the Dodgers. I definitely see the Dodgers.
And then the Rays play the Astros.
Oh, that's gonna be a good. For how many games? What was that? That's a 3-game series too.
It looks like it is 1, 2. Based on the time, it may be 4. Nope, 3. Definitely 3. And then the Twins then get Kansas City, which is again, I know we're talking basically a week from today, but we'll have to revisit this. What's the day? The day is September 14th? We need to look at this just briefly week by week because it's going to change. These guys are at some point going to start going head to head against each other.
No, we'll probably revisit the MLB postseason push maybe on the 28th.
Oh boy.
Because it should all be decided by then, if not close to.
I think the October 2nd is the last Tigers home game that I know of, so it's got to be done right around that time. So
we'll come back maybe on the 28th and take a look at it. Yeah, like I said, there's still a few divisions yet to be decided. So, but in the end, I see the Dodgers coming out of the National League, barring injury or whatnot, because they are the best team in baseball. And they had a little snafu about clinching the division by 1/1,000,000% or whatever the case may be, and then they took care of that and won at bat, so to speak.
That final series is for the Guardians is against Tampa. And then the White Sox will be going against the Twins. You want to talk about musical chairs, potentially, the way that this is lining up?
Oh, wow. Wow.
They couldn't have scripted this.
Yeah, the Guardians better hang on.
Yep. Every game is a must-win.
They might find themselves like the Cavs last season, going from a 4 seed, or in this case a 3 seed, all the way to a play-in.
6-2 2007 Lions. I was thinking playoffs after that Broncos win, and then they lost 7-8.
Yeah. Well, it's either the Astros or the Rays. Even if, the Astros or the Rays are the only team I think right now that could derail the Yankees. But we'll see. We'll come back to this on the 28th maybe and see where things stand in. But right now we're going to move on to our this portion of the program, the Gridiron. All right. We're going to recap week 1. I just selected a few games. No,
it's my audio.
Yeah, right. We're going to get flagged. Obviously, Brother Rich didn't rejoin us, but I was hoping that he would. And hopefully, if he's still out there listening, he just might. Bro,
Rich.
Yeah, Browns at the Panthers. Okay.
The Baker Bowl.
Yeah, the Baker Bowl. And you see, they're not even talking about that no more. I told you, wait till this Texans game comes up.
Well, he's not. Sean wasn't there.
Yeah, of course. And I wouldn't be either.
But believe me, on Red Zone, John Hansen or his brother, whatever, Chris Hansen, every time they cut to that game, he was pulling for Baker to win against his former team. When he fumbled that snap at the end there, right before the go-ahead field goal initially, was all, he was like, oh my gosh.
I got 2 words for him. Cade York.
Yes, my fantasy kicker.
Oh, wow. Imagine that. Is Stefanski on the hot seat? And I asked that question because...
What?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you why I asked that question. To not play your starting quarterback hardly, if at all, in the preseason, to have him come out throwing the ball 1,000,000 times is asinine. And here's the example.
No. Go ahead. Please.
Here's the example I'm giving. You look at and this is why Andy Reid is so favored and such the guy, the man amongst folks that in NFL circles. The percentage of plays that Pat Mahomes played in the preseason, I'm telling you right now, barring injury, the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl this year.
You're talking about the same Andy Reid who had his quarterback who was already hurt in the game, trying to do a quarterback sneak and hurt himself? Guy?
Listen, I'm talking about the same Andy. Okay. I'm talking about the same Andy Reid with Patrick Mahomes is not missing the cheetah at all.
Don't take that with a grain of salt.
Oh, please.
You were going against Kyler Murray. Didn't have Rondale Moore. He didn't have Deshaun Hopkins. He didn't.
Man, I don't care who Kyler Murray didn't have.
To Hollywood.
What that got to do? What that got to do with the Chiefs?
Team was
Kyler Murray couldn't stop the Chiefs from putting up 44 points.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Right.
I watched the game too.
And Patrick Mahomes was doing what Patrick Mahomes normally does, throwing no-look passes. You know what I mean? He might have just went ahead and shot a couple free throws while he was at it. Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury is on the hot seat.
Okay, well, him too. Him next is fancy. Yeah, because that particular day was prime to run Chubb and Hunt with the weather being as brutal as it was. The Panthers D was gassed.
Brutal? You mean like hot?
Man, do you know how hot it was down there?
Yeah,
it was hot that day. Yeah, my Abdul particularly went to the game down there. Yeah, it was hot. And you can
also, I did see a lot of Brownie the Elf fans out there.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. And they would all had some sort of drink in their hand too. Yeah.
True story.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thinking of L's. But we'll see. As Stefanski being the play caller, I don't know why you don't run Chubb and Hunt, run it down. There's no way in the world. The Browns, they still have a problem with putting their foot on teams' necks. They do.
Closing out games. I'm not going to entirely disagree from that because again, they were up.
14. They should have blew them out.
Well, and then it was they kicked the field goal. The play calling was a little bit of a mystery to me when they got in. I want to say, it was
especially for a guy who's won Coach of the Year. Hello,
but on that particular series is where it was a little bit I was kind of scratching my head a bit.
He should not. The plays that he was calling, that's like a guy in his mid-20s talking about he don't really know how to tie his shoe. It's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
So here's the thing, though. Obviously, any team, you can load the box to slow the run down.
Then you use a screen game.
But here's the thing. Hunt had 2 touchdowns. So it wasn't like they weren't being used. Chubb had 142 yards rushing. He's my fantasy running back, so I know he had a great game.
Okay, but I'm looking at the way the game played out in the second half. You run Chubb and Hunt to death to the Pennant. Yes, you do. Jacoby
Brissett. Long season.
You don't. Okay.
I hear. What if I told you this? If I said, okay, you're absolutely right about the preseason, but we had to get the guy that we're going to need to be as close to 100% and in rhythm in week 11 to get as much, who hasn't thrown in a year, as much as he could.
But listen, but here's the deal, though. You're going to need the guy that's supposed to get them to a point where when that other guy comes back to be able to have won enough games.
Correct.
So when he comes back, you're in a position to go ahead and finish the deal.
So when you're up like that,
unprepared.
Well, and that's why I believe why some of the calls were made that they did. Okay, look, we have
and
a
I'm
lead.
telling you this too.
Let's try doing this, and this to get him some rhythm and some more additional real-time reps, almost like it was a scrimmage.
Then you give him passes. Most play callers, when they see that the quarterback is struggling with down the field kind of stuff, they call things to get him in a rhythm. And Stefanski called stuff that was not to get him in a rhythm. You don't keep chucking the ball 155 yards down the field.
Well,
you call screens and things of that nature, swing passes and things that so he can get
into
a
little
rhythm.
East-West stuff. But I dropped David Njoku. This may be something that haunts me.
That's premature.
Because and the reason why I picked up Gerald Everett.
Or you shouldn't have done that.
From the Chargers.
You shouldn't have done that. Well, Justin Herbert, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Keenan Allen's hurt. So the whole reason I had taken Njoku so late that he was on no one's radar except for mine was because in Brissett's entire career, he's thrown to the tight end 35% of the time. And Njoku had like 2 targets. So to your point, I'm actually making a little bit of I'm agreeing with you to an extent that he was forcing Brissett to do things that he clearly was uncomfortable with. Because
he was unprepared for. He was unprepared to do that stuff.
It may be a combo. I think it's both. Because again, 35% of the time was to the tight end, which sounds like check down.
When a guy doesn't get enough reps at that position, I expect him to look like what Jacoby Brissett looked like. You had to have given him more reps. He's going to be your opening day starter. You haven't won an opening game since my grandpappy's Browns, like Brother Rich would like to say. And you need him to win at least. Deshaun is out for 11 games.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, here's what I'm trying to tell you. You look at all the teams now. A lot of folks are picking the Browns to be in the Super Bowl.
Still, really?
Well, no. Well, I'm telling you, ClevelandBrowns.com. I mean, Cleveland Browns Daily. They did a power ranking after week 1. The Browns are 18th.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, but I'm not either. But I'm not surprised based on the way they looked offensively. There was no balance. And that comes from Brissett not being completely prepared.
So you're absolutely right. He needs time. I think again, that's why you use the luxury that you had, which was we're in the lead, we're in the second half. Let's attempt some things that we may need to lean on or at least convert on through the next 10 weeks. Okay, and then we can work on them.
I'll tell you what, the teams that in the AFC that people were talking about before the season started as being contenders, they look like contenders.
Who?
The Chiefs, for one.
Okay, well, that's one.
Okay. The Chargers for 2.
They barely got through. Barely.
The Bills for 3.
Wow.
Who should have actually been 2.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. They opened up again. We'll get to that.
1.
We'll get to that in a minute, is what I'm trying to tell you. The Ravens.
It was the Jets.
I don't care. They still NFL
We
team.
should look like that on Sunday.
Okay, but
I'm hoping to be there.
Exactly. The Ravens.
Party.
Yeah, right. Exactly. and who did the Raiders lose to?
The Chargers.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. And the only reason that game was close is because anybody that's not somebody else who should have told them that you wasn't nobody, but you really are somebody, if y'all can make sense of all of that traffic.
Here we go.
The AFC West, like most divisions that we consider in football to be kind of tough, black and blue or whatever they want to call it, those games are always, division games are always, you can never go off of point spreads and any of that stuff when you're playing division game. When the two teams in division are playing each other, you just can't, because teams get up for each other. You can go, the spread could be -3 for one versus the other. And then, oh my gosh, what was the spread going into the Browns playing the Steelers in the playoffs last year or whatever it is, when they smashed Ben Roethlisberger and company, when the snap went over his head or whatever the case may be.
Did you see that game? Cincy in Pittsburgh? Goodness.
Yeah, that was ugly. Listen, it's always, division games never go according to script. In the AFC North and in the AFC West in particular. Okay? But for the most part, division games never go according to, I ain't gonna say never, but rarely have I seen them go according to script. And I'm here to tell you right now, tomorrow night, by the way, Chiefs and Chargers tomorrow night, whoever wins that game, the West, that's how the West was won.
Are you going to be able to watch it in your bunny slippers?
Absolutely.
Well, you remember that one's on Prime Video, I think. That was Amazon's big bet.
Oh, no. I got an app, baby. I get them all.
Oh, well, you're going to have to. Offline, let's share the wealth, huh?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
See how he does? You see that, everyone? Look at that. Conveniently, Double J's here, hemorrhaging money in our host. Meanwhile, it sits in the fuzzy pajamas and gets to watch everything. He's got the whole.
I'll give him a shout out.
Caboodle, is it?
I'll give him a shout out. WYATV, $30 a month. Best ticket in town.
Wait, what?
WYATV. YATV.
Megan, if you're watching, go ahead and do a Google search really quick.
Yeah, the letter W, the letter Y, the letter A. I'm gonna have to talk to them about some affiliate because I'm plugging them big time.
Yeah,
right now.
this
WYATV. Trying to tell you.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you, it's the best thing going. I get all paper, and it's not illegal. Just letting you know that right now. It's not like no backdoor black market deals, underhand in the back alleys. None of that. It's on the up and up. You get 1 month.
It's not Fubo TV or anything.
No, I don't mess with YouTube TV. I don't mess with none of them. WYATV. That's all. That's it for me, baby. And I get everything. I get pay-per-views. I get BN Sports. I get I get Yes Network. I get it all. I get all of it. Yep. $30 a month.
Now, I will say this again with the Tigers plan that I had gotten. I got MLB TV for the year for that.
Oh, I get
and
all
then
of
I
that.
bought. This is how I was purchased NBA 2K this year, because it came with, not only was it Michael Jordan on the cover, but it came with the NBA subscription as well, which they're supposed to mail out here in I think in the next day or so.
Well,
if they don't do that, we're gonna have a problem.
Well, you keep paying for prescriptions. And meanwhile, I'll keep my WYATV. YATV, baby. Listen, I get everything. Pay-per-view, I get the NFL network, I get the NFL, the package, I get the game, I get all of it. I'm trying to tell you.
Wait a minute. So you're getting the boxing too?
I get everything. I get everything.
Not getting that. Oh no,
I get everything. You got to look into that. It takes some getting used to going through the channels because there's a lot of Canadian stuff on there. It's all intermixed. But once you get the hang of it, and 1 month, $30 for a month. Then they got a deal where you can do like 3 months at a time. That's what I usually sign up for. I sign up for the 3 months at a time.
Yeah, the quarterly plan gets.
Yeah, and I think it's like $80 or whatever it is for 3 months.
Yeah, that's well worth it.
Yeah.
Wow.
We move on to our next game. The Packers at the Vikings. Is the sun setting on Sharon Rodgers?
Oh, thankfully.
Yeah.
Anyone in the NFC North will not be sad one bit, outside of Green Bay, of course, to see him go. Now, I will say this:
the Bears. They play the Bears.
I picked Minnesota to win without any hesitation in the Pick'em League, which I ended up, thanks Russell Wilson for nothing.
Well, you had to see that coming.
I didn't think they would lose. That was coaching, but anywho,
2 fumbles. You can't blame Hackney or whatever his name is. Hackett. You can't blame him for 2 fumbles.
It was 4th and 5. He's converted 57% in his career.
Okay, but I understand why everybody
with a timeout.
Okay, but here's the deal. I can understand why, based in that situation, his team. See, everybody wants to talk about the 4th and 5. Let us talk about the
63-yard kick.
Let's talk about the 2 fumbles in the red zone.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Look, that's all fine and dandy, but in that moment, all of that already happened. So now you have to evaluate: do I waste my time out here and then put a guy who's can make it, but at 37% from beyond 50 plus or 55 yards, or do I let the quarterback who's at 57% get me the extra 5 yards needed? I'm telling you that. I
understand one side of that, why you would do it, but he did evaluate. He's saying to himself, we were in the red zone inside the 5-yard line 26 times, and we came away 0 for 28. So part of my evaluation process is, for whatever reason, this $255 million quarterback we got, because I heard Keyshawn and Jay Will and Zubin, I listened to them on the way to work in the morning, and I get it there, the experts or whatever the case may be. I'm not mad at the coach for trying to attempt a field goal, because he said all of these guys who we paid all this money to, they had plenty of opportunities for us not to even be in a 4th and 5 situation. And what did they do? I'm going off of what have you done for me lately? And the last time I checked, the last 2 times, you all fumbled the ball in the red zone. On consecutive back-to-back plays, you know what? Yeah, we're going for a 65-yard field goal. That's what we're getting ready to do here. We're going to give somebody else a chance to mess up.
You said it, and even the coach said it. You paid him all that money. Go earn it.
Hold on. You paid him all that money, and what did he do on them 2 previous situations? Listen, and here's the killer part.
Redeem yourself.
Okay, yeah, right. Not tonight. Not tonight. I'm gonna give somebody else a chance to mess up, because here's the deal: Russell Wilson did not play like the $230 million guy all game long. From the very first play, you could tell Russell Wilson didn't have. Anytime Russell Wilson what about the first quarter? In the second quarter? In the third quarter? He got outplayed by Geno Smith, man.
Hey, Geno looked good out there. I mean, he does that. He's always shown flash. Even last season.
He went 17 for 18 and then went 9 for 99 after that. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Can you say Justin Jefferson? That's what
went off. And that continues to be my fantasy nightmare. I dropped him. I want to say almost 2 years ago now. And then the very next week was his breakout week. And you know who I kept? It was between him and I was watching a Monday night game with a guy named Henry Ruggs.
Yeah. You dropped. Did Justin Jefferson, did he go to LSU?
Yes.
That's what I thought. That was a rhetorical question, so to speak.
Oh, so you're an LSU over Bama guy. I see.
No. I mean, I respect Bama, but yeah, like I said, Georgia should have been number 1 from day 1, because you see where they at now. In their rightful spot. Hello. Anyway, and Bama struggled against Texas.
And who has Georgia? Well, they played the lowly Oregon. All right.
Yeah, right. Got you. And if Ewers hadn't got hurt, who's to say Bama would not have been sent home that day packing anyway?
Or if they didn't just blow a complete call.
Yeah, got you. Right. Yeah,
exactly. Bama should have lost. I'm with you.
Yeah. Anyway, you don't ever go against LSU wide receivers. You don't do it. You just don't do it. Anytime an LSU wide receiver is in the NFL, for the most part, last time I could, I know my recollection ain't what it used to be now. Y'all know, like the transmission on the 68 Buick, y'all know the rest. Yeah, I'm not going against. If put an LSU receiver in the league, actually, I'll take him over a Bama receiver or a Bama running back, Trent Richardson. Anywho, shout out to Saquon Barkley. Just saying, we didn't pick the Giants game. Shout out to Saquon, who looks like Saquon again, the Penn State Nittany Lion, not from Detroit, by the way. Even though they played very well, I thought the Lions would have pulled that game out.
They did what they always do.
Yeah, I know. Look like the Browns used to. Can you say that Sharon Rodgers is missing Devontae?
He's missing something.
Yes,
even that haircut, I don't, that was more of that spirit animal talking to him. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Run like the wind. Be as one with the cheetah, as my former ancestors would say. The number three game here we picked is the Raiders at the Chargers. Speaking of the AFC West, Herbert is nice, real nice. Even though and my cousin Dre, the barber, pointed this out. Even though I saw it before, but he observed it as well. Herbert's throwing motion is like a shorter person. And let me take that back. Let me say it this way. He's tall, but he throws kind of like lowers his throwing motion. Whereas a guy like Mahomes, when he throws, or a guy like Baker even, when they throw downfield pass, they have to come over the top, you know what I mean, to get over the defense or whatever. Yeah, right. But Herbert throws, he's so tall. What is he, 6'9", 9 and 595 and a half? Gee, my knees. Guy's extra tall. 6'10", is he? Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah. Cars, as in David Cars, costly mistakes cannot happen. And you know what? I didn't think he would, but sure enough, he did the same thing that a lot of young not really young, but a lot of quarterbacks who haven't been in the league for as long as a guy like Brady or Rodgers or Peyton Manning maybe or whatnot. He was too focused on Devontae. Hunter Renfrow had 2 catches for what, minus 48 yards?
Even Waller. I mean, everybody was getting, but Waller had a big drop in the end zone. So did Renfrow. Hunter dropped one too. I think that was on the conversion play, but that wasn't exactly a stellar pass. But
yeah,
I'm with you that it was very evident that there's a chemistry there with Devontae and that. But you know what? When did that ever fail Aaron Rodgers? You know what I mean? Like, why did it work so well there? And these guys are very much on the same page. Is it literally a competition thing?
I don't know. I just know that Carr and Devontae played in college together. They were a nice tandem. Threw for over 65 million yards and 452 million touchdowns in the whole 9. But at the end of the day, though, somebody's got to let Carr know. And Devontae, if I'm Devontae, I'm telling, hey, look, man, spread the wealth. We got too many weapons over here. You know what I mean? For the Raiders for that to be such a disparity between Adams and Renfrow and Waller, drops or not, the thrown twos, there's just too big a gap right there.
Well, you talked about running the ball, and Josh Jacobs wasn't utilized enough either.
That's what I'm trying to say. It seemed like it's the David Carr and Devontae Adams show.
Well, and that's not going to, I'm telling you,
it's not going to win you the West.
No, it will not.
Not what, and you see what, that's what I'm going back to Patrick. That's Patrick. Patrick threw the ball to everybody, including Andy Reid.
Juju. We had, you know what I personally appreciated? When Juju Smith-Schuster dropped that first pass, Mahomes gave him a thumbs up, and the very next pass went to him.
But guess what? Mahomes plays a whole lot better than when we don't have to see Jackson. Yeah. Hello. Because I don't have to deal with the off-field distractions. So when I come off the field, I got to answer questions about why was your brother dancing on the logo and all. Look, can we talk football here? Oh my gosh, I got enough pressure on me as it is right now. So he said,
but where was his wife? Are you suggesting that it was only? Well, no, he showed up to road games too.
Well, all I'm telling you is somebody's parents said, "Hey, listen,
I want to see it.
You all need to."
They play tomorrow, right? At home.
Yeah, you all need to take a back
I'm going to intentionally. I will keep you posted. I'm going, and for all those watching, I will go and personally see Jackson Mahomes. I will give him my viewership on Snapchat and see if he's there.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, he's no longer a distraction to Patrick. And that's a dangerous thing for the rest of the league. Because let me tell you what Patrick did yesterday. He spread the ball around. I'm telling you, man, Andrew Reed had 4 catches, 2 cheeseburgers for 38 yards. He was giving the ball to everybody. Everybody got a dog.
But wait a minute. We brought up the Browns earlier, and I said we talked about lack of usage. I even pointed this out. I may drop DJ Moore to pick up Robbie Anderson because we know Baker plays favorites, right? Landry versus Odell.
Oh, and speaking of Landry, oh my gosh, that catch that he made for Jameis Winston. Oh my goodness. Jarvis Landry, would you please come back, Jarvis? Please.
Well, Olave had a good game. Michael Thomas had a good game. Something woke Michael Thomas up, and I haven't seen that guy look like NBA young boy out there, all beefing with everybody.
Really, NBA? Okay, got you. No, there'll be enough of that. Oh, shout out to D-Run finally joining us. Hot take: Patrick Mahomes is better without Tyreek Hill. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Talk about a team. Tyreek Hill. Look, Waddle. I'm waddling because that's my receiver, and he saved me. So I'm
getting to that. We're coming to that
game.
Yeah, we're coming to that game. Yeah, right now, it's Raiders at the Chargers. Khalil Mack makes the difference for the Chargers D, and that's where I'm telling you right now.
Man,
I'm gonna say it again. Him and Bosa on the ends of that defense. Oh my goodness. Let me say this to you though. If anybody can get them, it's Patrick. I'm telling you now that this game, this early in the season will determine how the West was won. Barring injury.
It goes through KC. I hate to say this because I jumped on I put the show on a few different young quarterbacks, and I happen to say Kyler Murray. I happen to say Justin Herbert. You brought up the throwing motion. I think he gets in their way. And you know what? In health, I don't know. Keenan Allen can't stay on the field.
Oh, don't go there. He said, I don't know how Raiders fans haven't turned on Derek Carr. Yeah, me either. Is Derek Carr the worst in the AFC West?
Not based on how Russell Wilson played on Monday night. Nope.
Well, don't go there with injuries. Don't do that. Don't do that. He can't stay on the field. This is not, listen, that irks me to no end.
He's hurt again.
Can we consider the nature of the sport, even though it ain't my grandpappy's Browns where they could stick your finger in your eye on the way to rushing the quarterback, or like Deacon Jones with the Rams and Merlin Olsen with the head slap, to an offensive lineman side of the line, or I don't know, the Green Bay Packers, Ray Nitschke and them guys playing with, or Jack Lambert played with, or Jack Youngblood even played with a broken fibula in Super Bowl 31, I believe, or was it 31-19 Steelers over the Rams? But anyway, you get the idea. I get it. It's not that era of football, but it's still a gladiator sport. Hello, this is not badminton. Can we please keep it in its proper context? We're talking NFL. Yes, he can't stay on the field. I would understand it completely. If we were talking cricket, maybe. All right. If we were talking volleyball, okay. If we were talking kickball.
But how
dodgeball even?
How else can you be? You can't be productive for your team
if
you're not there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's better. You can't be productive if you're not there. I can get with that. That's you can't, no matter which way you flip that. Okay, I'm with that. You can't be productive if you're not there. But to say he can't stay on the field, your best ability is your availability. I think those are cliches that need to be thrown out when it comes to football, NFL football especially. But you're right. You can't be productive if you're not there. That's an honest take. I can't argue that. I won't try to. But yeah.
But look at this game tomorrow. We're talking about, we're leading right into tomorrow's matchup.
Yeah, it's definitely the most violent sport. Yeah, outside of professional bull riding. Have you ever seen professional bull riding?
Yes, I have actually.
Woo!
That's a good watch. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is. But it's a cringe. It's cringe worthy from start to finish.
You've never been to the rodeo. Don't sleep on it. Very good ones out there. The Black Rodeo, I think is what they call it. It was phenomenal in Houston. I want to say
I don't know where it took place, but I've been to one. I'm sorry. I've watched many, and you know what else too? Rugby. Yeah, real football. What?
Wait.
Yeah, rugby. Rugby.
Oh, rugby. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, here we go.
I was going to say,
I watched bull riding Fox Saturday afternoon. Oh, my bad, wrong button. I hit too fast. Yeah, man, professional bull riders. Yeah, trust me. I'd like to know who has more broken bones, a professional bull rider or an NFL football player. Yeah, but Khalil Mack and Bosa on them two bookends. We're gonna see what Patrick do. But if Patrick get past them two bookends, who in the AFC, D-Runk, if you out there watching, obviously, and anybody else that's tuning in, weigh in on this. Who else, barring injury, because I'd like to say it that way, because again, you have to factor that in. This how many games they play in the NFL now? 2,500. So it's bound to be more injuries. Now, well, it seems like it. My goodness. It's bound to be more injuries here than it has been in years past. But I mean, you can get injured on any given play. Just ask Sterling Sharp. Anywho, barring injury, barring injury, Freudian slip, I guess. Who in the AFC can beat the Chiefs outside of the Bills? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it there. That would be fun.
Again.
Yeah. I here's the thing. I don't want to I want to see how Thursday goes. I really do. Because what bothers me about
I'm telling you how Thursday's going to go. It's going to be close.
But again, this is without Keenan Allen. And it really bothers me. Because they're a different team with him.
No question. He's talk about fantasy all the time. He's one of the top fantasy getters.
Absolutely. His target share.
I would say the Ravens, maybe. Yeah, we just mentioned them earlier. Yeah, the Ravens. Yeah.
No.
Somebody, the Bengals. Yeah, I think what the Bengals did was an aberration. You know what I mean?
You mean by them going to the Super Bowl last year?
No, by what they did against the Squealers. Man, come on, man. The Squealers offense only amounted for
Mike Tomlin 13. Had them boys. He gave everybody a pair of black Air Force Ones.
I don't care what he gave them. The Bengals shouldn't have missed 72 PATs. Man, stop it. The Steelers offense stinks. Listen, that defense got 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. Give the Browns defense 5 turnovers. Give the Browns offense 5 turnovers. Give the Bucs offense 5 turnovers. Give the Rams offense 5 turnovers. Give the Chiefs offense 5 turnovers.
But what did I always say about Mitch? Right? He's right from your area, right? Kind of wedged between us there. He's closer to you.
Mentor High School here. Yeah. Won a state championship, I believe. Mentor beat Glenville in the semifinals or something. Might have been in the state championship. Okay.
Like I said, bunkmates with my grandfather in Vietnam. So
oh wow.
These guys.
I don't know if I would use that term again. You might want to gather yourself. Bunkmates. Yeah, okay, I got you. Brother Rich, call him Brother Rich. Let's see. D-Runk saying that long snapper lost in the game on that last field goal. What long snapper? The Bengals? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because he wasn't the
laces out, Dan.
But he wasn't the original long snapper.
Okay, you're telling me, hang on. Here's what I did not see. And you guys can tell me if I'm wrong here. After that first one, and I get it, you're all in your head, and they were not practicing. I would have sat there the entire possession.
Oh, you mean on the sideline?
Yes.
Well,
throw it.
I don't know.
Throw it to me 80 times. Let's get this close enough where I can at least find some consistency and say, just do that again.
Oh, so we talking about repetition, as in Jacoby Brissett.
But listen to what I said.
Yeah,
actually trying it and then saying, okay, we can work on this. David Bell wasn't used.
Yeah, the Bengals long snapper. Yeah,
because I was trying to get the Ravens guy, but somebody outbid me.
We already know. David Bell Karlaftis. We get it.
Hey, now wait a minute. Xander Horvath scored a touchdown for those Chargers. There's another Purdue guy. Karlaftis was in. I mean, he was all over the place. Where Tony Romo was talking about him. I mean, come on, you can't ignore these things.
I'm not ignoring these things. That's what I'm saying. This game tomorrow is going to be how the West was won. Whoever comes out of this one, they're going to have a big leg up, barring injury. Once again, I always want to throw that in. They're gonna have a big leg up on the AFC West, especially.
And Megan couldn't believe it because again, it wasn't me. I just made sure I turned the volume up and then repeated it.
Double J said, he said Double J right. I saw no clips of them practicing. Yeah, getting repetition in. That's the same thing I said, D-Runk, about Jacoby Brissett and how he didn't have enough reps. Jacoby Brissett, you don't have a guy who you didn't give enough reps to. Listen,
look that up.
Listen. See. Yeah, go look up how many times Jacoby Brissett threw the ball for not having enough reps in the preseason, or reps period, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, if in the case of the Bengals Steelers, if the long snapper and the kicker didn't have enough reps on the sideline or otherwise, then he shouldn't have had no business, because you never know when you're going to be called into a game, right? So I'm saying in the case of Jacoby Brissett, there's no way in the world, him not having enough reps, he should have thrown the ball as many times as he did, especially on 155
times.
That's too many.
No.
What do you mean? That's too many.
In the third quarter, John Kitna had thrown 28 for the Lions in 2007. That was
Who's John? Okay, John Kitna. Okay, right. Yeah, John Kitna. Well, wow. Okay, played for the Bengals, played for the Montreal Alouettes, probably.
And the Seahawks.
Played for the Edmonton Eskimos, probably, and played for the Harlem Globetrotters. What he do? Having Amazon Prime finally gonna pay off for me. Okay, all you Amazon Prime members, I got you. WYATV over here, buddy. Just saying. Our fourth game.
And this is from RotoWire. They're saying,
boy, here we go, RotoWire.
That the veterans' handwork in the past seasons was of little surprise due to Stefanski unsurprisingly having him play it safe. So quite contrary to what you're saying.
Oh, no, contrary based on what?
Leaning heavily on Chubb and Hunt to the tune of 33 carries overall.
Okay, contrary based on what? Brissett threw the ball 34 times.
He did stay away from turnovers and only had one sack and made key completions to Cooper and Peoples-Jones. Which, hey, Peoples-Jones does he seem slow in those first few steps, especially compared to Cooper?
All I know is that roughing the passer penalty, since you want to talk about penalties, let that not have been called. Yeah, because when you go back and look at it, whether you're a Browns or a Panthers fan, go back and look at that play, and you tell me if that was roughing the passer.
Now, wait a minute. Even in the preseason finale, he threw 23 times.
That's not 34. Do the math. That's not 34. 23 times is marginal. That's where he should have been around. 14 for 23 or 22 or something like that.
All right. So do you want me to compare that to, say, Mahomes?
No, you can't compare that to Mahomes because Mahomes played in the preseason. What are you talking about? Comparing? No, absolutely not. Hey, and here's the point. The point I'm trying to make about Mahomes getting work in the preseason versus a Jacoby Brissett. Mahomes didn't won a Super Bowl. If anybody should be getting limited reps in preseason, it should be Mahomes. And Randy Reed said, "Okay, yeah, we get it, but we're about championship week, day one here, baby. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, if anybody should get grandfathered in, it should have been Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes can play in the preseason, surely Jacoby Brissett can play in the preseason when he's going to have to win you 11 games to your guy that you gave $700 trillion to lead you back."
What if I told you his average depth of 9.1 yards actually puts him in the higher percentile, and then his sack rate was lower?
I don't care. What if you
told me? But his bad pass percentage was.
I don't care about that. I'm looking at how he looked out there. He looked incongruent. I don't care about percentile. I'm talking about Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, he made the throw or two, yeah, to get him in position or whatnot. But the Browns were helped out considerably on a whole lot of stuff that day. Man, come on, man. We talking about a Super Bowl contender? Man, come on, man. Come on right now, man. I tell you what, you can't keep winning like that. Not in this league. Not for long. Huh? Tell me I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. D-Runk, come on. Tell me when I'm lying. Abdul, tell me when I'm lying. Okay? Yeah, got you. I don't care about depth. I don't care about percentile. I'm talking about how the perception was the reality. Okay? How you looked out there. I'm glad the Browns got a win. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cade York. You know what I mean? Who didn't get no mention on this program by certain folks and other stuff. You know, I mean, Cleveland Browns Daily, obviously. You know, they showed him the love that he deserved, kicking a 6,500 yarder to save the Browns from another.
Well, you've seen that didn't work out quite so well there in for Denver.
That's because Denver don't have Cade York.
Oh boy.
Okay. What are we doing? Overstating the obvious here. Game number 4 is obviously the Bills at the Rams. The Mafia opened up a can on the defending champs. Super Bowl hangover. They opened up a can.
Pizza. That's what Stafford was doing in the offseason.
Is that a Super Bowl hangover? That's what that is. Got to be.
No, it was a sign of things to come, and I told you that. When you
That's
guys
a
said,
Super
they're
Bowl
going to run it
hangover.
back. Where was Doc? You know they're going to run it back.
Oh, that's the Super Bowl hangover. Now, why is it not a Super Bowl hangover for the Rams? Because you don't like Matt Stafford?
No. They were tied at halftime.
I don't care.
You're telling me that they lost it in the second half, and he played like trash.
Okay,
he played like Matt Stafford.
The Panthers lost it in the second
3
half.
interceptions.
Too. The Panthers lost it in the second half too. What's your point here? Okay, yeah, got you. Super Bowl hangover. I'll tell you one thing I don't like about the Bills. Too many designed QB runs for Josh Allen.
No, they weren't using him enough.
You don't do that. Listen,
underutilized.
I don't care how big he is. You don't do that, man. You don't do that. Too many of those, man. Too many of those. There's too many of those. It's too many of those. I'm telling you now. Right? He said Rams done. Oh wow, D-Ron,
thank
really?
you. Thank you.
Now, I'm in which I don't think about the Rams being done. I'm in total disagreement, Terry, on that. That's a word, mine. I just made it up. Put it in the dictionary. Jalen Ramsey can't lock a door. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey is over. Yeah, not underrated. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm on a roll here.
Diggs
I'll be here all week.
Dug Ramsey's grave there that day.
Yeah, and can you say Von Miller was a huge upgrade? Oh my gosh.
In comparison to, and I loved Bobby Wagner for Seattle, but he looks washed.
Yeah, should Josh Allen be considered a dual threat quarterback? Yeah, you can consider him that. Yeah,
of course, he had 65 yards rushing.
Yeah, you consider him that. But listen,
he was barely used.
Okay, I don't want my quarterback rushing for 100 yards regularly. And it's an 85-game season, not including wild card, division, playoffs, and championship, and then Super Bowl possibly.
That's my fantasy quarterback. I agree with you.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, well that explains that. That's why you want him to be ran into the ground. Unbelievable. Injuries can happen on any given play in NFL.
Allen, Andrews, Waddle.
Okay. Why do you think they tell quarterbacks to slide?
Cade York.
Why do you think they tell quarterbacks to slide? So that they can so they don't have to take unnecessary punishment. Okay. I'm okay with Josh Allen running on, if it's a division game and the division is on the line, in certain situations that, will catapult you to that next level or catapult you to the next game or put you up 3 games in the division or put you up 3 games in the AFC standings. Okay, I get it. But man, 65 yards a game on average. Yeah.
Somebody might have something to say.
Yes, wow. Here we go. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, my main man, Knuckles McForehead.
What's up, Grandpa?
You missed Bro Rich, too. It was...
Yeah, you missed Bro Rich. Yeah. We're talking
anyway,
Bills at the
give
Rams.
Me my proper introduction before we get started. Come on.
No, you can't. Oh, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if you do it, Double J, I'm canceling it. I'm telling you right now, I'm canceling. Where is it at? Let me find it here. Yeah, you go ahead and do his introduction if you want to. No, you can't. No, man, you can't come 2 hours late and then talk about get a proper introduction. No, absolutely not. No, you don't get that. No.
Somebody else got a job to do.
No, yeah, I do too. I was at work too, man. Stop it, man. Cut me and cut it out. Anyway, we are our Gridiron. Yeah, you'll get your proper introduction when you come before 10 minutes. Like when you go to work, you get a certain frame before they consider you to be late. Okay,
you everywhere. You all over the place, man.
Yeah, you get what, 6 units, I guess. I don't know, whatever it is. The case may be. D-Runk weighing in again. Last week we dissed TJ for talking about going for 2. Less than a week later, everybody missing kicks. Yeah.
Look at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Wow. Can you believe it?
Oh, do you what you want, a button?
Got
Okay. So he just happened to be right. D-Runk, I'm gonna need. Yeah, there we go. Shout out to the baby.
Yep.
It's amazing. Y'all both got the same haircut. D-Runk, I'm gonna have to. We can't. This is not what we're not doing that today. We're not siding with TJ. That's not what we're gonna do here. Not today. Anyway, we on our. Oh wow.
There we go. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm cutting all intros. Cutting all intros. We got our gridiron, and we got game number 4. The Bills at the Rams. I asked, was it Super Bowl hangover for the Rams?
Say hi.
What's up, man? It's all good. Yeah, there you go.
Can't
Take
hang
the mic.
up on them.
Was it? Yeah, right. Hang up on him.
That's your other grandpa right there.
What? Oh, that's so disrespectful. Was that a Super Bowl hangover for the Rams?
No, I wouldn't say Super Bowl hangover.
No, of course not. Of course you wouldn't.
You know, the Rams are not thirsty like the opponent was. Hold on, I gotta come back. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Well, this is where you cue the Jeopardy music. Yeah. Doo-dee-doo-doo. Oh my gosh, this guy right here, right in the middle of it all. Yeah, Von Miller was a huge addition. I'm telling you right now for the Bills, a humongous addition. That just made that. Yeah, ask the baby who's better, Justin Herbert or Josh Allen. Yeah. Damn, D-Runk, I didn't get to that quick enough. I sure should have. I should have asked the baby. Yeah, Von Miller, boy. I wonder if it's a thing where he just knew all their plays or what, because he was just with the Rams, 10 minutes ago? My gosh. I don't know. Von Miller's been being Von Miller.
I thought he was done when he left Denver. Like, this was it. He was talking about, I remember he had a sit down on ESPN before, one of those early, Sunday kickoff shows, and talking about he's ready to be just a chicken farmer and was good to go.
Yeah, he was done in Denver, but he wasn't done playing. He got tired of being in Denver.
He's tapped in the fountain of youth because he still has not. He's gotten faster. It feels like.
Yeah, well, change of scenery can do that for you sometimes. Yeah, you say it wasn't a Super Bowl hangover, TJ. Why?
I just feel like the other team was more hungry. They came out with. I don't know. I just don't feel like it was a Super. I don't think the Super Bowl hangover.
He said Von Miller surprised me. I swear he signed a nurse home deal with the Bills. Yeah, right. Okay, so the Bills just came out more hungry. They had to prove a point, huh?
Yeah, I feel like they still was old. That was their Super Bowl last year until Patrick Mahomes did his thing.
2 sacks, man. Von Miller was my defensive player of the week. Yeah, mine too. Oh, and speaking of Mahomes, right now, barring injury, who can beat the Chiefs in the AFC?
The Bills.
You sure?
Yeah.
So
I do. Yeah, I'm with them.
I don't know.
Listen, man. They didn't play anybody. The Cardinals are nobody. I feel at this point like they do.
Here we go.
And
guess what? And the Chiefs made them look like it too. That's what you do when you're playing nobodies.
I agree. They did what they were supposed to do.
They did what they were supposed to do. But I'm telling you right now, man, without the Cheetah, Patrick Mahomes, and without his brother and his wife, all, unnecessary drama island or whatever you want to call it, man, come on, that dude is locked in, bro. That's why I said barring injury.
Okay. Let's see who's going to bail him out when he go against a great defense.
He ain't never played against great defenses?
No. I'm saying he had bailout. Like Tyreek and that tight end on the same team, that was a bailout.
Okay, but he was balling out the other day, though. He was spreading the ball around. Even Andy Reid had 4 catches, 2 cheeseburgers for 29 yards. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Hey, listen, man. I'm a big fan of his. I'm just saying.
Cars look terrible. It don't sound like it. Yeah, anywho. I said too many design quarterback runs for Josh Allen.
I agree. I don't like
what?
That.
I'm not going to. Oh, wow. For the first time in the history of the P program. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I had to give him a button on that one. Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, I had to give him a button. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not see that.
Whoa.
What are we doing with Kyler Murray? Who knows, man? Who knows?
Well, I gotta wait and see. At the very least, get Rondale Moore back, and seems like the same hamstring injury he conveniently had at Purdue too. You feel like every time it's him in the spotlight, then he conveniently picks up a hammy.
I got a question though. What's
your question?
Was a legend created on Sunday in Carolina?
K. York.
Not according. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was gonna say not according to our host.
Yeah, he wasn't talking about Jacoby Brissett. Do you think Jacoby Brissett should have got more reps in the preseason?
Oh yeah, of course. Like we know he was going to be our starter week 1. They shouldn't have let Watson get no more reps after that point.
None. Thank you.
The beginning of your season is just as important as the end of the season. So
hello, I got to get you to that.
He had 23 attempts in the final preseason game. I mean,
yeah, but he's a backup. He needs more than a regular starter would need. That's how I feel about it.
You didn't hear from me.
And Deshaun would have came out looking like he did in that preseason game 1.
But Double J, look at how when Cooper beat all those the defense twice, this guy was throwing skyrockets. The defense caught up to each pass. I mean, if the dude don't panic, that's an interception. That's easy money.
I'm just saying. You can't.
Cooper was open. I'm talking about wide open. He was disgusted too.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
It's time to switch out Peoples-Jones with David Bell. I'm telling you.
No.
Hey, hold on. Peoples-Jones was doing his thing though.
He looked slow. He just looked slow off the line for me.
But we seen no offense to David Bell or whatever his name is, Bobby Bell, Bobby Bonds, Bobby Bowden. I don't know. Ticket pick. We seen what speed here does. Speed without hands is nothing.
Hey, number 10 even caught a good third down pass.
Hold on, we got another comment. They had to get the Browns fans used to Deshaun for PR purposes. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just saying, a guy like Jacoby Brissett, it's nowhere in the world, man. You got to get through the first 11 games of the season. You have got to, my man TJ exiting stage left once again. Like Brother Rich, I don't know what's going on today.
Oh, hell no.
Anyway, you got to get him. Should have got more reps. All right. Our game number 5 on the list of the games that we picked for the recap of week 1. The Patriots at the Dolphins. Has the game passed Bill by, as in BYE?
Ouch.
I'm just saying. I did not expect that. But the Dolphins had the Patriots numbers for like, my gosh,
even the Brady years. They would still pull out those wins, especially in Miami.
Yeah.
That almost, if you recall the season that they were perfect in the regular season, they had won barely. It was a comeback win against Miami. I want to say one of the final games of the regular season. So, however, I'm not going to. I told you, I'm waddling. I have him, and he looked phenomenal.
Yeah, so, I know. All right, I got you. How many fantasy points did you get last week?
15 from him. I had 130 overall.
Bill Dunn, get him a port seat. Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you on that one, D-Run. Patriots at the Dolphins, TJ. Has the game passed Bill by, as in BYE?
Who's running their offense?
That's the problem. It's not Bill.
Bill is a defensive guru. So
exactly.
Who's running their offense?
Matt Patricia, former Lions head coach.
But he was a defensive coordinator too before that, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, that's idiotic. I mean,
hey, what you saying? You say Paige and Todd Haley?
You know what I mean?
Josh Daniels.
Why you get another coach who specializes in defense when we already said you're the GOAT of the defensive coordinators? Like, come on, like you need offense.
No. I'm saying
Macaroni Jones.
He has a former defensive coordinator making as the offensive coordinator.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you do that? If you already the GOAT, right? We already got him held as 1 or 2 in history of football with what defense or head coach, however you want to put it. you need somebody who could rival that with offense.
He said, "I thought the Pats got 2 offensive coordinators sharing responsibilities." To tell you the truth, I tuned in because again, for all my folks out there who, paying for Amazon Prime and all that kind of stuff, I got WYA TV, so I get all the NFL channels and whatnot. I'm just saying, I tuned into that game for 36 minutes, not 36 minutes, excuse me, for a couple of minutes. I was going back and forth, doing that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 8, 9, 10 thing, and I seen Ronald McDonald over there with a play sheet. I'm just saying. The Pats are in trouble. He said, D-Ronk said, ain't JoJo still there? No. Last time I checked, he got his own TV show.
I think it's Josh
Judge Joe Brown.
It's Josh. Yeah, Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia are sharing.
Josh McDaniels ain't the coordinator, offensive coordinator. What are you talking about?
He got a coach. He at the 40. Where he at?
Oh, yeah, he's at the Raiders, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the Raiders. What? Oh, yeah, Double J. Paige and Mrs. Alva. It's time to get to Lucia.
It's the guy from New York.
Yeah, whatever the case. He said, D-Ronk said, Bill can't name them as actual coordinators because then Matt Patricia stopped getting Lions checks and Joe Judge started getting Giants checks. Yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm with you on that. Are the Dolphins for real, Double J?
Wow. I think they can be. If this is what we're seeing from them, just look at the division, right? I mean, you could make a case for the wild card. That's about it, because unfortunately they have Buffalo there. So that's what it ultimately would boil down to. The Jets, no problem. As you saw with the Patriots, no problem. It's definitely, the answer is no. Unless they have a convenient schedule, I would say that's it. You got a wild card spot at best.
I'll give you another word that starts with the letter T when I see Tua. Don't. T-Rust, as in don't trust him at all. Yeah. Who wins the AFC? Oh, my bad, TJ. You think the Dolphins are for real?
It's too early to tell. That's how I feel about that. The Dolphins, like, they got a fast offense, but other than that, like you said, don't trust Tua. But let's just give them a chance. I agree with Double J. Let's give them a chance to see what they're gonna do, man.
He said, I believe in the Dolphins because of one man, and he's not a player. Mike McDaniel is the next great offensive mind. Okay. All right, that's fair. All right, I can give you that. But you can have a great offensive mind, but when you got I just don't trust Tua, man. I just don't. But we'll see. TJ, who wins the AFC East now? The Bills, flat out, run hands down?
I mean, who else can win it? The Dolphins, they might edge out 9-10 wins, man.
Man, the Jets gonna win the AFC East.
They play us this week.
I don't care.
Backwards.
Yeah, they're going 0-2 real quick.
Do the Browns look like Super Bowl contenders?
Did you see Saleh? He said he was keeping checks or receipts for the media there. I don't think that was a good look. The Jets head coach.
Yeah, Saleh. Yeah, I don't know what the Jets are doing. TJ, do the Browns look like Super Bowl contenders to you after week one?
No, because it's week one. We had week one mistakes, or offensively and defensively. Like people was out of their spots on defense. The safeties they made our good defense look mediocre at times because of the miscommunications by the safeties and corners. We missing Greedy. But other than those mistakes, our defense look ready to, they look like they built for the playoffs right now. Our offense, our running looks built for a championship team. But at quarterback, we got a backup there. So, and he made backup mistakes, not releasing the ball on time and stuff like that. Not yet. We got to see. But I do have us going 4-0. All right. I have us going 4-0. Mark my word. We're going 4-0.
Okay.
Whoa. Doesn't that include the Tampa game?
No.
He said no.
we would be 4-0 if we were playing Tampa. But we are playing Atlanta, the Steelers, and the Jets the next 3. So that's why I say we going 4-0.
Yeah, with that TJ Watt injury.
That was serious. We avoided that guy. We avoided that guy. That's good. We avoided him.
Yeah, but he getting 14, 13, and 15 and 29 different opinions.
Who?
TJ Watt. He gonna try to play.
Oh, of course he is.
But with that injury, though, I don't see how you're gonna be able to play effectively. You can't even put a harness on that and not be affected by it. Not a torn pectoral. It depends on how bad it's torn too, because again, you got to engage offense. You know what I mean? Offensive lineman. You know, and then make somebody trying to chip you or whatever the case may be.
Run that ball on him.
Yeah. So either way, even if he do try to suit up, you know, I commend him for all of that or whatever it is, but you're not gonna be not nearly as effective as you would be if you
our replacement was our right tackle. Man, he looked crazy. Like he held his own.
Oh yeah. Well, the Browns got depth.
Panther was like a top 5 or top 10 defense last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Browns got depth at offensive line, that's for sure, which is what every team in the league needs. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you something else. Even though I didn't pick this game for us to talk about, the last game is, of course, the Chiefs at the Cardinals. No need to talk about the Bucs and Cowboys. Tom Brady just, I don't know what. I'm gonna tell you something I don't like about. I like Brady, but I'm gonna tell you something I don't like about Brady. What was I getting ready to say? What did I say first? Oh, Justin Fields, man. That was an ugly game. Man, don't. I know you.
Yeah, let's not go there right now. That game, that weather. Come on, man.
And listen, that's hold on. And that's all the more reason to give him credit for what he did.
I'm definitely.
What did he do?
What did he not do? Are you serious?
He had one open receiver that was wide open, waving his hands, doing the YMCA.
Man,
and he threw the ball and hit him. He had so many chances in the red zone prior to that, and he squandered them. And then they threw 3 consecutive flags, convenient, and then they finally punched it in. Come on, I would love. Where was that in the entire first half?
Justin Fields don't look like a franchise quarterback to you?
No,
not yet. No.
Oh, y'all crazy. Excuse me, y'all see
really,
crazy.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that his best receiver is Darnell Mooney, which was like he at one point in time he was the 3rd receiver on the very same team.
Were the Bears down in that game at all?
Yes, but that's a credit to their defense.
Okay, the Bears were down in that game at all.
For the majority of the game.
Okay, so then they got 19 points and outlasted the 49ers. So who we gonna give credit to?
Well, how about the defense that held them to 14 and never gave up another point?
No, only 10. They only
or whatever it was. It was just not very much. Now let's
I'm
also
giving
keep
him
in
credit,
mind,
but I'm not saying he a franchise quarterback on one.
Oh, of course you're not gonna say that.
Now remember, San Francisco also the
sound like this guy right here. That you're Ohio State fan, but yet and still you think Rasheed Wallace is garbage. Anyway, yeah.
What?
Exactly. That's what it sounds like. What y'all saying to me? Exactly. What?
You say anything out your little gray whiskers. Out your little gray whiskers, Sylvester.
All right. Okay. And take that pot scrubber off your chin. It's faking over here is what you're doing. Yeah. What I do like, I mean, Brady at 99 is just like Ray Lewis once said. You have to when you planning to play that dude, man, you have to study like you've never studied anything before. Because this Brady is just a guy. He hones in on the littlest things or whatever. He beats you. He just his mind is there.
When you playing Brady, man, you gotta channel your inner Ed Reed. You gotta have that type of
Yeah. Oh, and okay, and Ed Reed, where did Ed Reed go? Where's Ed Reed from? Where did he go?
The Ravens. He went to the Ravens.
Before the Ravens. He was drafted from where?
The NFL draft.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What school did he go to? What college did he go to?
I don't know.
And why?
You know what? That's our host is trying to. You see that, TJ? He's trying to look like Ed Reed. He's trying to pull Ed Reed, but the beard isn't quite there yet.
Why are we seeing just your lips?
He learned all his skills from Miami.
No. I'm saying he was on that team that's arguably one of the greatest arguably the greatest college football team ever.
Why? Did they go? They ain't go. They ain't run the table.
When they beat Nebraska anyway? Okay, all right, okay, got you. Here's what I'm gonna do.
That's how you get him upset.
just for the case, just in the case with it's and giggles. Nah, man, come on, man. This is me. Period.
His teams would have whooped on them.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, sir. Channel your inner straight hand. Okay, got you, Abdul. But I'm going to tell you right now. Believe it. I will pull up the roster of that team. I will pull up the roster of that team. You tell me how many Hall of Famers on it before they went to the NFL. I'm just saying, baby. Ed Reed.
That's your one claim to fame. They ain't won nothing since.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Hey, I tell you what, the Canes and championship is more synonymous than it is with the Cleveland Browns in your lifetime. While you're playing.
Key word, my lifetime. You see how he did
exactly.
Exactly.
In your lifetime.
Yeah. Oh,
you
absolutely.
See how he worded that?
Hey, in my
lifetime. Ask him what happened against Ohio State in 2002.
Yeah, what you mean? Ohio State
I guess it must have been
should I say Ohio State won? Okay, well, let me repeat myself. I said the Canes and championships are synonymous more so than the Browns in your lifetime and mine.
But not Old State.
We ain't talking about Old State.
That's
anyway.
what. Hey, you comparing a college team to a college team. That's what you do.
They haven't done anything in 20 years, Barbershop. Come on now.
Page and Clemson.
Right. 20 years, dude. It's 2022. When the last time they won? When in 99?
Well, I don't care.
That was.
I don't care.
I think it was.
Hey,
97.
Hey, how many?
It's been a while.
Can you say championship being synonymous with the Browns?
Why you keep comparing college?
I'm just talking about having won all of it. All of it. I don't care. I'm talking about having won all of it.
I would say they're actually very comparable. It's been a while.
Oh, here we go. Here we go with RotoWire. RotoWire speaking. Yeah. Why are we looking at your mouth, TJ? You don't have to. Okay, got you. State won. Exactly. One, not as in number one. Georgia is. Hello. Defending national champs. Our last game on the recap NFL week 1. Chiefs at Cardinals. Oh, let me tell you what I don't like about Tom Brady. That berating your teammates on the field, I ain't down with that. I don't care how long, what you consider GOAT, not GOAT. I don't care who it is. Man, you don't do that. Not even on the sideline. He get away with.
Whoa. Peyton Manning did that.
Michael Jordan can do it, huh?
Yeah. And
no,
Kobe,
I said I don't care who it is.
Say, hang on a
second.
Kobe always did that.
Did you hear what I said? I said I don't care who it is.
Well, you never spoke about that.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I've never heard that before.
Because I've never seen it. I ain't saying they didn't do it. If you all saw it and they did it, I don't care who it is. Hello.
You see it with LeBron, but never seen it with Kobe.
I said I ain't never seen it.
Okay.
I thought I was tripping. D-Runk looked like Robert Townsend. No, that's not D-Runk. That's TJ. Yeah, who looked like he D-Runk right about now. Yeah, he's saying you look like Robert Townsend in Meteor Man. Yeah, that's what you look like. You really know he forehead McJackson right now today. But yeah, I don't like that about Brady. But as far as playing against him, you know what I'm saying, and being you got to be a chess player when you're playing Tom Brady in a defense. You must definitely be. Otherwise, he will get you, even at 5,900 years old. Our last game for the week 1 recap. Did I say that already? My bad for being redundant.
Listen, they tried to write me off, but I ain't right back.
Oh, you still in lines? Geno Smith?
But
oh wow, really? You're still in lines? But let you think I stole the line. Man, don't nobody want to see the side of your forehead, man. Come on, man, stay focused in the camera.
Listen, man, you always still in lines.
I don't think so. Anyway, the Chiefs at the Cardinals. TJ, is the clock ticking on Kyler Murray?
It's ticking on all players.
Oh, here we go. I said Kyler Murray in particular. This player.
I gave you the answer. He's included.
Okay, got you. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're doing something.
This how you answer questions.
Oh, okay. Okay, so now you're stealing from me. Now you're stealing from me. You want to be like Jay? You want to be like Jay? I thought most people your age wanted to be like Mike.
No, imagine that. You actually got another age group.
Oh, okay, got you. Double J, is the clock ticking on Kyler?
I would be. I think it's very interesting to see who goes first between Cliff Kingsbury and him.
Well,
I think he should have left. He was offered a ton of money, I think, to go. Was it back to Oklahoma, or not back to Oklahoma, to Oklahoma?
Yeah, he was at Texas Tech.
And
why is the clock ticking on them? Like they just went to the playoffs. What is it ticking for?
They are on the down spiral. It looks like,
bruh, they lost one game.
I don't care. It's the way they looked losing that game.
It was game one. Anybody can look terrible game
one. Man, no. Because once again, I'm talking about complexion. You look at teams that did win for the most part. The teams that we talking about that might be in the thick of it when it's all said and done. The Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens. I don't care who it was against. They look like what we expected them to look. Barring injury, they look like what we expected of them. Okay. At the end of the day, the Cardinals.
What about the Rams? The Rams ain't look like nothing either, though.
I didn't expect that. I expected a Super Bowl hangover. I didn't expect the Rams to win that game.
But we ain't just talking about you. It's people expected the Rams to make a deep run. They didn't look like themselves.
Okay, well, I said Super Bowl hangover from day one. You want me to pull the tape?
I don't care what you said, Grandpa. You forget a lot of things.
Well, don't stick your face out there like an ostrich or something. You know what I'm saying? Little ostrich, man. Anyway, the clock is ticking on Kyler and Kingsbury. You know what I'm saying? Go back to Texas Tech.
He sound like Max Kellerman talking about Brady's gonna retire, man.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Got you. Anyway,
they just paid this man $200 million. You talking about the clock ticking?
Hey, watch and see what happened. Sometimes you get what you pay for, and sometimes you pay for what you get. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, Double J, is the clock? Did I ask you that already? Is the clock ticking on Kyler Murray?
Yeah. Again,
I wanted to hear you say it again.
First.
Yeah. Okay, got you. Anyway, no cheetah, no sweat for Mahomes. TJ, what you think?
I mean, I expected him to still play good. I ain't expect 5. Didn't he have 5 touchdowns?
Yeah.
I ain't expect 5 right out the gate. But like I said, the Cardinals, I'm not sure what we're gonna get with them because usually they start off hot, and this is the opposite of that. So
which is why I watch. Oh, exactly. Yeah, got you. Yeah, they don't look like you expected them to. Because they start off hot usually. That was my point.
One game, slow down, represent.
Okay, well then one game or not, it didn't stop you from saying what you just said.
It's one game. It's not a streak of games.
I don't care. You said they usually start off hot, and you don't know what to expect from them.
Look who's in their division. They got.
I don't care. That ain't got nothing to do. What you said is irrespective of it being just one game.
Cardinals, Seahawks. Who's in their division?
In what division? NFC West?
Niners,
the NFC West? Who's in the NFC
Seahawks,
West?
Cardinals,
Rams.
Yeah, the Washington Generals. The Washington Generals,
the Rams,
they're in there too.
Listen, they hold division loss, but the Seahawks. So you need to pump your brakes.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. No cheetah, no sweat for Mahomes, Double J.
At least in week 1 against the porous Arizona defense.
Seriously. Now, 1 minute, Patrick Mahomes.
Wait till Jackson starts dancing.
1 minute, Deshaun Watson in the same offense as Andy Reid couldn't win a Super Bowl because that's how special Mahomes is. Now, all of a sudden, Mahomes ain't what Mahomes was always supposed to have been said to be because he played against the Cardinals' poorest D. Man, make up my mind for me, please. Come on now. There you go.
What you think since you asking all the questions?
What you mean? What I think about what? Ask me a question specifically.
Specifically, huh?
It don't matter.
What? Ask your same question.
What was the question?
Oh my God, man.
Okay. Exactly.
Let me be the host for 1 week, man.
Absolutely not. Please, the show will go. The ratings will go through the toilet. We're not doing that. At the end of the day, the question was no sweat, no cheetah, no sweat for Mahomes. Absolutely. I just told y'all, barring injury, I see the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
I doubt it.
Barring injury,
have a
AFC
Coke.
Championship.
Have a Coke and a smile. We'll see him. Next year.
Let me tell you something. Barring injury, because I really do this begrudgingly. Oh, begrudgingly, because we can ready to get a bunch of bells and whistles from somebody else on the P program right now. But on the offensive side, Mahomes spreading the wealth. And on the defensive side, Karlaftis is looking like the guy. The Chiefs picked up a good one.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
I just said begrudgingly. I said begrudgingly. The Chiefs picked up a good one. Karlaftis is a problem for offense.
Double J, why you saying that?
Because
he went to George Karlaftis. George Karlaftis went to Purdue. Hello.
Oh, well,
where you been? Where you been? Exactly. Karlaftis is balling right now.
I'm telling you, and that's not going to change.
No, it's not.
He's going to steal the first round.
Oh boy, here we
wait
go.
Somebody. I'll be there screaming for David Bell on Sunday.
Oh yeah,
maybe they get the Michigan guy off the field and put a real receiver in, and maybe we'll get Brissett getting his percentages up a bit.
Yeah,
let's try that.
You mean Jacoby Brissett? Because he was not. He was done.
Brissett once had the Colts at like 5-1 a couple years ago, didn't he? 5-2.
Right.
Yeah. How many reps did he get though?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. Exactly. Hello.
Well, no. He was thrusted right in there week 1 because of an injury.
Yeah. WDB. Right.
No.
He needs more reps than what he got in his preseason prior.
So the Spider was introduced today. How you feel about that?
We already talked about how I felt about Spider, so I didn't need no introductions.
Oh boy.
Oh
man.
What do you mean? What am I supposed to do? Get excited?
You see how he answered questions, right?
The Spider was already introduced. We talked about him 72 shows ago.
Wait, what? Fill us in for those that.
He touched down and he said, "I thought I was going to New York." And some people had a mixed reaction, like,
oh my,
yeah. But they signed. They made that dumb decision to sign that forward they got. I knew it wasn't going down then, but people had mixed reviews about that because he even stated that he should have kept that PC.
Whoa.
Okay.
Fix your face, man. Why are you looking like a grin?
I'm just saying. So he said he thought listen. But he was being honest. He wasn't saying he thought he was going to New York. Like, he said, I thought I was going to New York. Like, the way the things. He being straight up. I'm cool with a dude being straight up.
I don't want to hear that. If you're okay,
if I'm a Cleveland fan, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear
please
that.
Get out your Cleveland's feelings.
We
man,
know
come
you're
on,
a
man.
Dallas fan, but Dallas don't got
it. Don't matter. I don't care about none of that.
They don't have no
but his
his
reaction on the golf course told me all I need to know about with him being here. That's why when you said his introduction when he landed off the plane, Burke Lake Airfront. I get it. Okay, so he landed. Wow, and he had a press conference. Whoop-de-doo. It was 6,000 media members there. Big deal. I don't get excited about stuff like that. I've seen more sports than both of y'all combined in this town.
We didn't ask
wow. So wow. He had a press conference. Wow. Big deal. Whoop-de-doo.
Your generation
his reaction on the golf course is that's all I needed to know about.
Your generation is some crybabies. That's all y'all do.
Yeah, okay. I got seriously?
Yes.
And in your generation, load management is synonymous? Or synonymous? Okay, I got you. And on that note, I won't even leave you with this quote. It's been fun, but we got to run. Thanks for TJ for not forgetting to check us out at every Sunday. Every Wednesday at 8:05 on the PM side, right here on the yard. or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or the shop's Facebook fan page, and of course YouTube. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little jingle bell on the side. We'd be much obliged. And if that don't work, y'all can Google it. For my mans, Be Rich, Double J, TJ, the world's #1 antagonist, my arch nemesis, and all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla.